would be stalemate if I don't do this. Okay, sure.
XQC, regardless
Bing,
of how retarded
bang,
some of the
no.
shit you say, no matter how shitty
Bing,
life gets, your streams
bang,
being there consistently
checkmate.
helps me get through the day. XQCL.
I told you, man. I told you, man. I told.
But I can play queen c8. This is a ridiculous move where I still stay defending my rook. Your queen now is under attack, and your rook is also under attack, and you can't defend everything.
Oh. Wait. What if I did this?
Oh, you're trying to get here? Look
Yeah,
at
how do you
here.
handle that threat?
Unfortunately, there's this with check.
Oh, there's check.
Check.
I forgot the queen can go that way. Thank you. That's my queen! No! I blundered bad. Oh, he gave me it back. Thank you so much. Okay, he let me undo. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay. No, that's my queen!
Yes. Wait. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. I've got one idea. Only one idea. That'll be so fucking good. Please don't mess this up. All I need to do is move the pawn up here. He'll be trapped. Yes! He's trapped. Please tell me he's... Please tell me I got the queen. Please. Please. Has he got anything? Can he do anything? Did I trap him? Yes!
Taking d5 to d6 takes?
d5 takes e6. So put the d5 pawn on e6, and you will see that magic happens. Yes.
I've never... Wow. That was a mind... That's like a glitch. What the was that?
But I'm terrible at this game. I'm really so bad. I'm so bad. That was so embarrassing in so many ways. He wants a rematch? Get out of here.
Holy sh... Warum höre ich auf Chat? Warum höre ich... Oh mein... Oh mein Gott, ist so hohl! Oh mein Gott, wie kann man so dumm sein? Wie kann ein Mensch so wenig Gehirnzellen besitzen? Oh mein Gott, ist der schlecht!
Did I just lose? Oh, I had checkmate. Ah! I got so scared. Wait. No, don't. Stop. Everybody stop. Shut up. Stop. Stop. Oh.
Oh, one second. I just got disconnected. Give me 1 second.
It's our chance. It's our chance. Eat everything. It's actually working. Go back.
Sorry.
Janet! Janet! Come see me in my office. Janet, it's fine. Okay, we can recover from this.
I saw clips of you talking trash non-stop before the game, okay? And then also...
Says the one that streams like my stream, huh? Says the one that was sitting in my chat, watching my tactics.
Someone sent me a clip. Okay? That's not sitting in your stream.
No, you were in my streams, specifically more than 1 hour, okay?
Slicker.
We have chat, use in the chat. You stream sniped my tactics.
I use Chatterino. For starters, I use Chatterino. And secondly, Slicker, if you want to watch me play chess in my channel, twitch.tv/nim, you're welcome to do so. Maybe you'll learn a thing or two.
Well, okay, let me tell you something. Listen, let me tell you. This guy is a joke. Let me tell you right now. A simple joke. Why? Think what you're doing. Think, Nim, okay? Go back to being a DJ, my friend, because you don't know who you're messing around with.
Well, I mean, I think more than that for me, it's not so much about guessing. It's the fact that oh my gosh! Oh, here comes the L. Here comes the L.
Not like this.
Here comes the L. Oh my god!
Listen, Nim, if you're watching, do you guys swear is this Peggy 3? Are you allowed to swear in this interview?
I mean, preferably not, but we don't really.
Nim, you are a pile of rubbish. You are gonna lose, mate. If you're watching this, you're gonna lose. You are gonna absolutely get destroyed. Trust me.
And we are live. We're joined by Ludwig and Boxbox. Ludwig, do you want to ask the question you just did before we were on?
Yeah, Alex. My question's why did you me?
Yeah, from weaponized sex toys to chess drama seems like the natural progression there.
I think everyone would really be surprised if you take nothing else away from today. I think the thing to take away is just how versatile sex toys can truly be. Like, there's so much more to them than they get credit for. Taking an object like a fleshlight, a rubber vagina, and seeing it in a different way.
As long as you make sure that the opponent's king has squares, or if it doesn't, you're checking it. That's the way to go for it.
Here you go, Slicker. It's the world's smallest violin playing just for you, man.
Thanks, Peter. I know. I want to thank you.
Killing it. Boy is shaking.
Oh,
quivering.
I have to join an interview.
Okay, see you later.
See you, Peter. Thank you. Hello? Oh, sorry, not yet.
Son of a. Son of a. No, you just have to move your piece. Unless you can take. So then he's gonna grab me. Fuck! God damn it. Was I a fool to let you break down my walls?
GG. Boom! Let's go!
Go up, Habibi, when I'm gonna waste time here. This is what you get for this, mate. I'm gonna waste time. 2 minutes? I'll waste my time. Let me blast some Tupac.
Ignores what I suggested, which is completely fine if this is what he prepared.
Oh, you think he prepared this? He likes gambits.
Oh wow. So Ludwig decides to play the Latvian gambit. Now we'll see right away if Ludwig did some preparation here.
Yeah, let's take a listen into his stream to see what he's saying.
Yeah, sure.
He said he doesn't have time to teach me. He said, Ludwig. Okay, teach Ludwig? Well, I could teach Ludwig. What's XQC up to? Apparently my viewer count
Who
too
gave
low.
him the Latvian gambit advice?
So his one piece of advice
Hikaru, you look
was
so
the
shocked.
Latvian gambit. But now what do I do? Now what am I supposed to do, Hikaru?
This is not what I told him to play at all.
You just said to do F5.
Yeah,
I have
that's why I'm
nothing
confused.
else.
Who told him this?
Sorry, I'm going to my Discord in the process here, because when you bring out the bishop like this, it can become very vulnerable right away. So I'm not sure that I like the variational approach here.
No, please don't. And it's too soon. It's too soon, Hikaru. We didn't even reach a climax.
Like, this isn't really defending anything except this piece. He could take this, but I could take this. I'm gonna just do this. Wait, what was that the move? Wait, I can't move his piece. Wait, what was I gonna do? What was I gonna do? Oh my god, what was I gonna do? What was my move?
Oh no.
What was my move? What was my move?
I've had that happen where I forgot my move.
Wait, was I thinking about doing this because I can't? Oh, I was gonna go like this.
Oh no,
I'm doing that.
Boxbox was playing his master promo. He's not quite challenger, but he's on his way. I'm not either right now. You know, league's a struggle sometimes. But anyway, so I beat him. I hard carried against him in the game he needed to win for his master promo. As a good friend, you would think, oh, like I would go easy on him, like maybe give him a chance. No. He needs to earn that, and just like he needs to earn this chess Pogchamps championship, if he wants to meet me in the next round or whatever, like Albert Zhang, bring it on. But I destroyed him in the master promo, and I'm gonna fudging destroy him in the chess match. I hope you spend 50 hours studying my openings and analyzing my games and get coached by Hikaru, Alexandra, Danny, and Magnus Carlsen, because no matter what you do, Boxbox, I will destroy you. You're gonna be one box smashed into a little cube, and I'm gonna checkmate that ass so easily. So
You know, when I said it'd be fun to see a checkmate in 4 earlier, I was joking. It wasn't real. We're listening to Moist Critical right now.
Daniel Naroditsky is a prophet. He said immediately that XQC will likely go with the Scotch Open, and he did. So I had the counterplay, and he immediately blundered. Well, that's got to be a world record. My is throbbing.
Okay.
At every game that it makes you.
I won't go that far. I won't go that far. Okay, I won't go that far. Listen, Hearthstone, stick to Hearthstone. Okay. Listen, stick to playing Mage or whatever the other champions are. You're just 2D Andy. That's what you are. Foreskin. Forsen.
I mean,
okay.
StarCraft is quite a complicated game.
Oh, Foreskin. Well, I mean, it's StarCraft. Who the hell plays StarCraft? Are you 50 years old? Are you Nakamura's age? No.
Oh my god.
Look at that. Okay, actually, I have to.
Oh my
see what
god.
it is here.
It's on the board. It's on the board. A God Mature.
No.
Get it. No. Come on. The fork. No. Oh my god. She's gonna find it. Oh my god.
I'm gonna check
Oh,
it.
she did it. She. Oh my god.
I checked him.
Oh my god.
Okay, that was hella sick.
God.
Okay, so
She
so
got
now,
it. Dude, I don't. Does she only saw that it was a check.
Can I
She
take
doesn't
it?
see the queen is hanging. Oh, she's
Can I
queen.
take this?
Take the queen. Oh my god. She did it.
I am a freaking genius.
Oh my god.
Why'd you give your bishop for free though? Come on, Ludwig. You had 500 gifted subs on the line. You cannot be living life with that kind of risk.
Alex. Here's a little thing that I'm gonna pass on to you from one streamer to another. It's called throwing for content. You gotta make it a little more exciting. All right, throwing a hanging bishop, have everybody in suspense for a moment. My endgame's phenomenal. You know why? I pick up Dvorsky's Endgame book. Okay, now I can't read a word of this because it's all in chess notation. It makes no sense, but I own it, and this alone has been a 300-point up for me.
Have you been like sleeping next to it, trying to get some, osmosis
Every
going
night.
on?
Every night. I no longer own a pillow. I just sleep on Dvorsky's book in 4th edition.
All right, so we're gonna be watching this chess match here, guys. It's between Moist Critical and XQC. Well, I guess that's the end of the chess match between Moist Critical and XQC. Another riveting bout between those two.
what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
Magic time.
We're in the game? Oh!
And we are back with the final day of Pogchamps 3 presented by GRIP6. Hikaru, we did it. Another amazing Pogchamps event is about to be in the books. How excited are you for Championship Sunday?
Really excited. I think both matchups today are going to be really, really close. I think this match between Sardoche and Rain Wilson, two of the early favorites in the championship bracket. I think it's anyone's game. And then there's the match between Nico and Michelle Kerr. Also, I think it's very hard to have predicted that either of them would have reached the final in the consolation bracket. So all the players who are here, they deserve to be here. They've played very well throughout, and it's going to be really, really exciting.
We're going to have a fun day here as we bring it to a close, regardless of who wins. Let's remind everybody who's already been here for a while. Hope you enjoyed that Season 1 highlights video to remind you of where it all began. But let's bring everybody's attention to the format and remind them of what's in store. As Hikaru said, we're in the bracket stage. It's single elimination, which always hurts at this stage. It's not as fun almost in some ways, Hikaru, as the early group stage, because we know that we might be watching someone's last match in every moment, right? Because, you know, it's win or go home.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still a blast. And obviously yesterday and the day before, we had matches go to tiebreaker. So will it happen again today? If it does, it's only 5 minutes with a 0-second increment to decide who moves on, or in this case, actually wins their particular bracket. And then, of course, the as we said, it's 2 brackets, as Hikaru already noted. We have consolation and championship. The prizes that are up for the individual players are what you see before you. It's $100,000 in guaranteed cash. That goes directly to the players for them to spend however they want. I know players like Rain Wilson intend for all of what they earn here probably to go to charity. But I know that for a lot of streamers, too, this is a really big payday. It's a huge chess tournament and a lot of money on the line. And speaking of what goes to charity, Chess.com came into this event with the intent to spend $100,000 on top of the $100,000 prize fund. And so today, announcing right now, we are doubling the match of the community, which means you, the community, have already raised more than $75,000. And if you help us reach that $50,000 mark, it will mean $100,000 cash out of Chess.com's pocket. So we're hopeful to get there, but no matter what happens on Sunday, we know the community, you've already done such an amazing job. You've been super generous, but we're hoping to spend all $100,000 of our money, and we hope that you help us get there by reaching that $50,000 mark. All right, Hikaru, let's talk a little bit about these particular matchups. Nico versus Michelle Kerr, as you said, neither player maybe was expected to get there, but maybe in hindsight, we should have seen it coming. Either way, it's definitely 2 players with very opposite styles.
Yeah, certainly. I think one of the things that emerged from Pogchamps too is we had Hafu, who ended up winning the whole event. She won the champions bracket, and ever since she started grinding every day, there have been like people who've been comparing some of the players who've been trying to study like her. And I think 2 of the players in the finals on both sides, championship and in the consolation, in Sardoche and Michelle Kerr, have kind of sort of done the mini Hafu or the full Hafu, especially in Sardoche's case, where it seems like he's playing chess 23 hours a day. But in terms of Michelle, she also has been grinding every day, doing chess a few hours. And so her progress, I think, from the group stage to winning 2 matches, I think she had to play both her quarters and semis on the same day against Mr. Beast and Pokemon, and now playing here in the final today. She's been doing an amazing job. So both of them are looking good. I think I'm actually going to go out on a limb and predict that Michelle is going to win, and I think Sardoche is going to win as well.
Okay, well, there you go. And I'll echo what you said, that Michelle, a lot of players have improved a ton, so I hope anyone listening doesn't take that the wrong way. But I think an argument can be made that Michelle might have improved the most of anyone as far as where she came, kind of just learning the rules of the game to where she is now. So that's been just inspiring to see. And of course, we can't wait to see whatever that video kind of documentary looks like as far as her journey and what her experience was in Pogchamps and with the chess community. And yeah, I don't think you're crazy to be predicting Sardoche at all. Obviously, I've been working with Rain for on and off for a few years now, and certainly he came into this event to have fun, and it's gotten more serious for him as he's proven to himself maybe he has a chance. But I think Sardoche.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of
worked,
explain.
but,
I can kind of explain why I think Sardoche is the clear favorite, because I was thinking about this last night, and I think when I look at Sardoche and the games that he lost to Benji, and then the game that he also lost to Ludwig, neither of those players really made many major mistakes. There were mistakes made by Benji and Ludwig in those games, but they played a pretty good game from start to finish, it felt like. And when I think about Rain's progress, he's played very, very well, but when he hasn't gotten a big advantage at the very start of the game, he has not put together a complete game. So that's the single biggest reason that I think Sardoche is very likely to win, is that I feel like Rein at critical moments has made some mistakes in some of the matchups. And I think against Sardoche, making mistakes of the nature that he's made in some of these earlier matches will be insurmountable.
Totally fair. And also, the thing you and I have talked a lot about it. For some reason, you and I have had several Sardoche matches. He just seems to be best in fast time control, right? And so another reason why it's kind of hard to pick against the hardworking Frenchman is because of just how well he's carried himself in those most critical moments. And by the way, community just rolling in right now. Thank you so much. Again, remember, we are doubling our previous double. I don't know how to say that, but no matter what you see on the screen, it's double more than that. So if we reach 50,000, it will mean $100,000 from Chess.com. So thank you so much throughout the day if we get there. Also, before we take our first break and come back with the starts of the matches, thank you again to our sponsors. Gayaki is supporting Pog Champs with their donation and with cases of your favorite regenerative yerba mate. They're celebrating 25 years and they're sharing the love to prove it. Of course, we really appreciate their support, and any subscriber to the Chess channel can win multiple cases of Gayaki yerba mate if you spam the emote right now. You know the drill. You've subscribed for a while. Some of you are going to be winning yerba mate cases. Can't wait for it. And thank you so much already for the community support. Don't go anywhere. When Hikaru and I come back, it's Championship Sunday. It's Nico versus Michelle Carre, Consolation Bracket Finals, when Pogchamps 3 presented by GRIP6 returns.
The regeneration of the planet is integrated into our business model. Purchases of Guayaki yerba mate support stewardship of the South American Atlantic rainforest and the self-sufficiency of indigenous communities. These purchases advance a carbon-balanced renewable energy economy and provide meaningful employment for the formerly incarcerated. Guayaquil's sales also fuel communities and activists, driving the regenerative movement. Meanwhile, your enjoyment of yerba mate reconnects you with the vitality of life. When we come to life, we care about one another and stand together to create a better future.
What's your username? Bishop? I say COG. COG. So who wants to play? Oh, you're a little too low, bro. Anybody above 900? So around 900. Who's 900? Yo, any 900ers? Hey, Chess TV, what's up? We're currently doing sub battles. We're trying to find somebody who is 900 rated to play in the sub battle. Any 900ers? We just need one 900 rated dude. Just one. One sub. What's your username? You're here? Why can I not start your game? You have to go to live chess, buddy. Go to live chess right now. I know where they lost. I know where they lost. But it's fine. Because we lost in sub battles today. We're going to win in LCS, right guys? That's how karma works. Because we lost in sub battles at COG. COG's gonna pop the fuck off in LCS today, right? You're in live chess. Is your username correct? We're gonna win tonight. We're gonna win tonight. Don't even sweat it. Don't even sweat it. We are who are we playing tonight? Actually, toss. Ah, they're only the second place team in the LCS right now. Yeah, this is gonna be a win for sure. Hey, Frick, crazy. Thank you for the tier 1. No, but honestly, COG has been getting first bloods 11 out of the 11 games. Like, we will win tonight. We will, okay? Pinky promise, we're gonna win tonight. Right, chat? Don't even worry, don't even worry. Okay, we also, I mean, this is actually over, but maybe if we win the next 2 games, I can ask Alireza if he wants to play me in a game, and we'll see how that goes. No, we're gonna win tonight, Gutex. We're gonna win. I think we have a very good chance to win, not only in this game. Actually, it doesn't really matter if we win anymore here, but I want COG to win. COG can win tonight, okay? Okay? We got this.
And welcome back to Pogchamps 3 presented by GRIP6. It's Championship Sunday, and before the championship match of the consolation bracket occurs, we have both Nico and Michelle Carre here to talk a little bit about the charities they chose. With all the support raining in here, we can't wait to hear from these ladies to tell us a little bit about why they chose their charity, what it means to them. And so, Nico, over to you first. The charity you chose is UNICEF. Tell us why you chose that charity and anything that it means to you and all that stuff.
So I was very in a hurry to pick a charity, and I was just, there's like so many causes I care about, but I feel like above like all of them, I think something I really do care about is like humanitarian work, and I feel like UNICEF provides all that across like the world. And I was like, well, that blankets like everywhere, you know, not just a specific region. So that's kind of like what I chose, you know, that everyone has at least like the necessities, and that's really important to me.
That makes a lot of sense. Michelle, you chose Face Africa. Tell us a little bit about that charity and what your connection is to them and what you like about what the work is that they do.
Yeah, absolutely. So Face Africa is a really amazing organization that builds water wells in Africa for communities that do not have running water. Most of the water fetching responsibilities usually fall on women in the communities. And because women end up spending so much time walking back and forth from the water sources, which can oftentimes be several miles away from their home, it prohibits them from spending as much time in school or advancing in other educational aspects. So they do a lot of amazing work. And when they install the well, they actually do a full community project to educate the community on how to upkeep the well and sort of build an economy around it. And also do a lot of sexual health education for the women and the men. And I just think it's really amazing. I've worked with them a few times, and I would love to contribute again to their cause, especially because they're doing so much wonderful relief there for COVID as well.
Wow, amazing. Just made it impossible for me and Hikaru to root for either of you. Both those charities sound awesome. Hikaru, I'm just kidding. You pretend that they're not here. Which charity are you rooting for?
I mean, I don't have one to pick, but I will say that I spent some time in Africa. I've been in South Africa, and I was in Libya many years ago. So I have seen some of the everyday struggles in Africa, and I think it's a great cause. So I will just leave it there. But both are great.
Thank you so much. Obviously, UNICEF and the humanitarian work, as you said, they all need more support for all those types of causes. And of course, Michelle, you broke down what Face Africa does. It's incredible, and we hope that both of them receive the most money possible. And we appreciate all that they do. So for you ladies, we'll wish you both good luck. We know you're here to now go win the chess tournament and do everything you can. So Hikaru and I will see you on the other side, win or lose, and have fun.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, now they're going to get set for their games. That was fun and really interesting hearing more about Face Africa specifically. UNICEF is a larger, more globally known, I think, charity, Hikaru, and so people are not obviously it's an amazing charity, and as Nico said, does great work for just general humanitarian efforts. But really cool to hear Michelle talk about Face Africa. And yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
excited
again,
to see what
I
happens
think
here.
anything for charity is always good though to stress again. I think all the charities that the participants chose, they're all amazing. I don't think anyone chose the same charity, which in and of itself is also pretty amazing when you think about it. They all chose individual charities, that's 16 different charities. And it's great. I think it's very important to give back to the people who are less fortunate.
Indeed. Well, apparently we're going to take one more break as the ladies now go from our interviews to logging into the live chess server. So thank you so much to Scott Colliver, Ryan's Conrad, Zordid, Haju, Bobby Barron. There were multiple other $100 donations too, and many more. So thank you so much to everybody. Every dime counts, and we will be back in just a moment with the consolation final getting underway.
Figure out tactics off stream. I've met so many of you guys through this experience, and I'm really, really grateful for that. I mean, obviously, getting to learn chess as the game and have a greater appreciation for that has been amazing. But I think what's been even better is just sort of growing our little community. Our community has grown over double in the past month, which is really, really special and exciting. So thank you so much for everyone for who's new here, who may have found me through this or has been here forever. I really, really appreciate it. I wasn't expecting this to happen when I started streaming, and specifically when I started streaming chess. I wasn't sure if anyone would watch, and it turns out everybody is enjoying chess. So today's going to be a really great match. I'm super, super excited. Had some training with Anna Rudolph yesterday, Queen Anna, the most wholesome chess coach on planet Earth, I would venture to say. And so this is going to be really great. Nico moves very quickly, and she has a very unique opening, so I've been doing a little bit of studying of that. However, Castlemania. That's all I gotta say. Castlemania. If you know, you know. It's a way of life, not a strategy. Okay, I guess there's nothing to do but just sit here and wait. Also, just shout out to Nico, who has played thousands of chess games and has grown as a player so much, reflected by her incredible rating increase over this entire preparation and tournament bracket. It's been really amazing to watch. So much to learn from you. Detachable Octopus. Friday was my birthday and I took half a day off work to watch Pogchamps, and watching you win 2 matches was the perfect birthday present. Oh, happy birthday! Can't wait for this match. You're ready. I hope so. Ooh, 111 stream. Thank you so much for the prime. Anna Cramling's community is cheering you on. Good luck, Michelle. K-Pulse. Michelle, I wish you a fantastic match. Let's make it happen. I'm with you. Oh, thank you guys for the hype train. Someone wants to know what Castlemania means. Just have to experience it. Just going over the move order in my head. We're gonna be playing black pieces first, guys. So hopefully everything we learned with Anna will come into play. I feel like after all of that studying yesterday, I don't even remember the London. Oh my god. Albert Levin, you got this, Michelle. Let's do this. Thank you, Albert. Shout out to Albert for playing a game with me this morning to help me prepare. MKKM, Michelle Carre, Castlemania. Let's get hyped, guys. Let's get hyped. I'm ready.
I'm BJ Minton, the founder of GRIP6. When I was 14, my very first job was a janitor at an elementary school, and I saved up my money, and one of the first things I bought was a wooden chessboard from the mall. I love chess. Chess is challenging. Chess is thinking ahead, it's planning, it's problem solving. It's very similar in manufacturing, because in manufacturing, it's nothing but problems. But problems are what stimulate your brain, and problems are the things that actually push you into creating new things, new technology, better products, things like that. At GRIP6, we make belts, wallets, and socks. We guarantee them for life, and just like chess, they'll be around forever.
GRIP6 has loved being involved with Pogchamps 3. We all know that. And they're super excited to see who wears the championship belt. I'm excited. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I can't wait to see whether that belt makes it on stream and cameras across the world. But either way, they want to give you one more reminder to go to go.chess.com/grip6. Make sure you use the Pogchamps 20 code before it expires. It expires after today. So if you've been watching, you want to get yourself a belt, some socks, whatever it is, go to Pogchamps. Go.chess.com/grip6 or grip6.com/pogchamps. Use the promo code and get 20% off. All right, Hikaru. Here we go.
So I asked a question while you were talking, which was, you have the belt personally, right?
I do. It's right here. Indeed. I already said that if Ludwig won, I was going to refuse to send it to him, but he was the only person I wouldn't send it to.
But is there only one for the champions bracket, or is there
only one for the championship bracket? That's a good point. I think next time around, no matter what the prize is, we should have one for the consolation bracket as well. Agreed.
Absolutely.
Tim. Population us. Yeah, I came fully decked out in GRIP6 today. I don't want to show my belt. I know you're not into that, Hikaru, me flashing my belt on camera. But I will. Come on. Get flexible, Dan. Come on, Dan. There you go. Right there. GRIP6 sucks. Okay. We're all ready. GRIP6, here we go. Time for the games. Let's do this. For the win.
Yep.
Game on. All right, so Nico said to me and you off camera, I was talking to her about the lesson we did, meaning the lesson me and Nico did, and she said she wished she had just admitted to me then that she was married to the birds, but she's been playing tons of other openings besides the birds here, so she just didn't want to play the opening I taught her. She could have just told me that.
Right, exactly. So I think she's been varying it. She played like the English yesterday against Tubbo. I think she played, was it D4 or G3? She did some other setup as well, so she was really mixing it up quite a bit.
Yeah. And jokes aside, everyone, I did do lessons with both Nico and Michelle, so I'm not gonna claim to be a mother torn as Anna Rudolph feels when she has two students playing. I only did one, but definitely worked with both of these ladies, and they have both performed incredibly well. So it's exciting to see. And look at Michelle playing principal chess, striking at the center.
Exactly. So far, so good. Looks like a French defense. I like the way that both players have opened so far. I think again. One thing that's very unusual. Oh, right on cue. I was worried about bishop d6. Oh,
it's right back out. It's right there again. No.
Yeah, but the thing is, the thing with Nico is I don't know what it is exactly, but unlike any other competitor in the field, she just moves instantly. Like she just does not think. She just moves instantly, and for better or worse, I think especially in blitz, that's really, really good. But she does miss things because I think she gets set on one move or one idea and does not consider alternatives.
Well said. And yeah, it has been a storyline for sure. And of course, it's if Nico was ever in future chess events, maybe the coaching would be even more focused on that because she's done so many things so well, right, Hikaru? It's just that when she's when she's had these opportunities, you just want her to take a breath for a second and consider it. So it was several moves in a row. She had this fork idea.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, one thing that I would say is I think if Michelle can keep her nerves together and use her time and not sort of get flustered by Nico's instant moving, I think she'll do very well. That's really the big key. I think actually for anyone who played against Nico, was being able to control the tempo and not panic and get flustered when she'd make these moves in like 2 to 3 seconds. And so I think that's really going to be the important thing. If Michelle can keep her nerves and use like 5-10 seconds every move, and try to think about ideas or even 30 seconds on occasional moves, she's in good shape. But if she gets flustered and starts trying to match the pace of Nico, then I think bad things are going to happen.
Yep. No, I agree with you totally. Because if it becomes a battle of blitz, intuition, or just who's faster, Nico is the Nakamura in the consolation bracket. We'll say that she's faster than her opponents. I don't know if you've heard of Hikaru Nakamura. My kids showed me a TikTok video of him the other day. He's pretty fast. So no, she really is, and we saw it yesterday. I mean, I know you were watching with me, and it was. I mean, Nico won because of her speed on the clock, right? It came down to the tiebreaker, and she flagged Tubbo on time, right?
Right, exactly. But again, also in the first game, she blundered when she tried to make her instant move, and in the second game as well, she made an instant move, which was a blunder. But Tubbo actually hung his queen because I think he started getting panicked by the instant moves as well. And so I think that's really the critical thing. No matter who is playing against Nico, is remembering there are 10 minutes on the clock. Now there's a certain cutoff. I would say if you're playing an opponent who moves instantly, I would say when you start getting down like if you get around 4 minutes is when you have to start moving instantly, or like using 2 to 3 seconds. But until you get to that point, using 5 to 10 seconds every move is not a bad idea.
Right. And we see Michelle used 1 minute and 1 second per the Chess.com time logs there on that move, Rookie 8, which was a good move. Now she's going to play a little faster. By the way, there have been multiple north of 3-digit donations. We've already raised, and there's another one, Mikey TKO. That means we've raised $90,000 together. Remember, Chess.com is doubling the match. So $30,000 from the community is now $60,000 from Chess.com. We hope to spend all $100,000. All right. Rookie 8, 19. C3 is a great move by Nico Hikaru. Look at her taking advantage of the undefended bishop on D6.
Right. So Nico is playing a great opening so far. I think for Michelle, I like knight e5. That's a very good move. Very good move by Michelle. And see, this is the problem. Nico, she's like she has this inability to use her time, so she immediately takes knight and doesn't look for alternatives. And that's, I think, the biggest issue in terms of Nico is that a lot of her intuition is very good, but she just is incapable of stopping and thinking for like 10 seconds at certain moments. Where if she did, I think already she could have won this game at least 2 or 3 times.
Yep. And she has more time than she started with. Again, 5 seconds increment is on the clock, everyone, which means Nico is moving on average faster than 5 seconds per move. That's Hikaru's point. And if she could slow down, we had the fork earlier, and this pawn is just hanging here. If she sees it, she could win the pawn, and it would be a huge advantage.
Right, exactly.
That's a good move too,
though. 6, though. I like Rook E6. Of course, E5 is a very good move by Nico as well. So, yeah, let's see what happens here. Michelle does need to move her bishop here, however. She does not move her bishop here. Bad things will happen.
Yeah, we got a hanging bishop here. One thing I'll say about Nico is even though she plays super fast and all the, whatever, call it criticism or advice, we're just trying to be encouraging for her to slow down, is true. But one thing she does, Hikaru, if you look at her, for the most part, she tends to focus on her opponent's clock. Like, she tends to be putting in effort, and she's kind of stone-faced, which I think allows her to make up for some of the time she doesn't take. Not everybody is as focused on their opponent's clock, i.e. some of our screaming streamers talking to you, Ludwig and Tubbo. Just kidding, love you guys. But seriously, right? Nico is super focused on her opponent's clock.
Right, agreed. But you also do need to be super focused on the board as well. And that is something that Ludwig definitely does quite well, shall we say.
Right. Anyway, so she takes now. She's not going to win the pawn. And obviously, it is the hard balance of being a content creator and a competitor, right? So teasing Ludwig and Tubbo aside, the truth is we know that they're there to entertain. You entertain when you play Bullet and Blitz. It is a hard balance, right? To make sure you're working hard on the X's and O's and being fun for your chat.
Ludwig's not here to entertain. Ludwig was out to win. Did you not see how heartbroken he was after he lost to Sardoche? The dude was like taking lessons with Hess off stream for 1 hour every single day. No, Ludwig is a content creator. Don't get me wrong.
Ludwig.
Well, yeah, you got the colors wrong, Danny. Of course, it's your fault. If Ludwig plays with white in the first game and wins, he probably doesn't lose the second game with black, which is what should have happened. So yes, of course, it's your fault. And Ludwig is 100% right.
I thought you were going to be on my side on that. That was a blunt. All right. Anyway,
why would I be on your side, Danny? I'm a content creator. I'm a streamer. I don't know anything about chess. You're the guy who plays chess.
I know. My fault. All right, moving on. Well, we've got bishop f1 played by Nico. Not a bad move either. I guess she has this bishop c4 in mind.
Yeah, I think so. Now the question here is for Michelle is what will she do? Will she move her rook, move the bishop? It's a difficult situation here because her rook on 8 and the bishop on c8 are not really well developed here. So she has to find a way to get the bishop and the rook into the game.
Well, let's listen into her for the first time and see what her ideas are to solve those problems. d5 was good. Not talking too much. Look at rook c1 by Nico. Bishop c4.
Oh my god.
Oh man, she's fast and strong.
Yeah, this is a great play by her.
You can tell how nervous she is, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a big issue here. Is that again, Nico? What she's doing is her moves, like she might miss wins, but her moves are still good. They might not be the best moves that finish the game, but she is still making moves that make a lot of sense. And if she plays like this and doesn't, say, blunder a rook or a queen, it's going to be very tough to match her. It's going to be very, very hard. I like queen d7 though.
Now we'll see whether Nico spawns.
I would say there's almost no chance she'll play bishop h3 because she should be tunneling on bishop c4.
Right.
But of course, now that I say that, watch her use 10 seconds to play bishop h3.
Use 10 seconds for the first time in the game.
Let's see.
She is slowing down. Like she recognizes she got a lead on the clock, and now she's it.
What did she play? She played a3? Strange move.
Subtle.
Uh-oh. Here comes a diagonal. Uh-oh.
That could spell disaster for Nico, everyone. In fact, at the very least, she recognizes how dangerous it was and is willing to compromise her king position to not get mated. But still, that's a move you're going to wish you could have back.
Right. Right, but f3 is a great move by Nico.
Yeah,
let's see what happens.
Stops the mating idea.
I
don't know whether you're drinking your mate and your mug, Hikaru, but I've got a mug here too. You want to show everybody your mug? Let's compare mugs.
Sure, but the problem is my mug, the water's no longer hot, so you can't see me anymore. I already left the building.
Oh, man. You had the Hikaru mug earlier. I'm sorry I missed it.
No, I mean, what I mean, Danny, is it's a mug where there's a picture on it, but if the water, when the water is boiling, it shows up. When the water cools off, it disappears. So I already left it. So I just left the building.
That sounds like witchcraft and wizardry to me. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a magic mug, basically.
I'm gonna call magic on that. All right, f3 was played, but look, okay, so the time advantage that Nico is getting here.
Yeah.
So massive.
It's a big time advantage for her. The one thing I would say about the position though is that for Michelle, it's actually quite easy to play. I feel like in terms of what she's trying to do, the bishops are pretty ideally placed. The queen is well placed. So I think if she sees the idea to bring the other rook to the center, her moves are pretty straightforward, I would say here.
Yeah, agreed. And like you said, even though bishop h3 is on the board, I don't think.
There we go. She blunders it. She sees the tactic idea. The problem is the queen guards the pawn on f3. Now, I think we'll see if Nico sees rook takes bishop, or will she play bishop c4? I think one of those two moves will be played here. I just don't know which one. Okay. She goes bishop e2.
That's a huge opportunity.
That's also a terrible move, and I'll tell the reason I think it's a terrible move is because now it stops queen f3. So there's almost no way that that Michelle can blunder it, kind of, or she can just blunder it.
She did blunder her bishop on the second go around, but Nico isn't looking for it. It seems like even though Nico's playing fast, she seems to be in a defensive state of mind too. The moves she's been playing for a while, bishop f1, f. Okay, right as I say that, she plays an aggressive move.
Right, which is a good move. And now I think that means she sees that.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and yeah, and now unfortunately after they trade, now I think Nico is almost certainly going to spot rook takes bishop here at the end.
Oh, wow.
Because now it's just very I mean now it's impossible not to see because you see where your pieces are.
Yep.
So the only chance for Michelle here is to push her d pawn. That's the only chance she has. Now will she see it? I kind of think she should see it. But again, I think the problem for Michelle is also I suspect she did not expect to be in this position, and so I think she's also very nervous as well.
No, you're right. I think she's going to see d3, and indeed she has. But it's more the body language. You can tell just how frustrated she is that she's. Ooh, Sheboygan.
Oh, that's a free rook. Oh my gosh! But it's still anyone's game, right?
Oh my god.
My god. I agree.
Okay.
There's no way she takes the rook, right?
Oh,
I don't think she see it. Oh, she still doesn't see it. Okay. Sees that.
This is very dangerous for both players, though, because the idea of rook g2 is looming here.
Yep.
Like rook g2?
Rook g2, and if Michelle doesn't play king f1, she's in big trouble.
You mean if Nico doesn't play king f1?
Sorry, if Nico doesn't play king f1.
Yeah, but still, I mean, rook g2 is very scary here. But Michelle's not looking at it. If Michelle does not see rook g2, then I think Nico probably is going to win this game.
Yeah, I agree. Especially because if she doesn't see rook g2, Nico's position is becoming the easy one to play. She has a clear plan, push the b pawn, whereas Michelle, she doesn't see rook g2, doesn't have a clear plan.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Okay, rook a2, not the best move, but not the worst move either.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now she has to play. I mean, rook a3 maybe it's still, it's kind of hinging on the edge here. Okay, king f7. Now don't go rook a8 and hang the rook. That would be very bad.
It's so funny because it's the retreating move, right? You and Hess talk about that a lot as far as retreating moves being missed. That's why Michelle missed bishop takes rook, and she might miss it again if Nico plays rook a8.
Right, backwards bishop captures I think are the hardest. It's the hardest capture to see, or even just general backwards bishop moves, because it's not really natural. In the way like knights, you can. It's generally much more. It's much more clear. It's a lot more straightforward. Okay, e6 is a great move here, but yeah, I think Michelle is just panicked now. E7 and it's game over.
And it's even worse because the pawn on b5 accidentally guards c6. So there's not even a way to stop e8 if you wanted to.
Yeah, no, totally.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow, look at Nico coming in, moving fast, but getting it done.
Yeah, no, totally. And I think looks like Nico's going to win the game here.
It would take a miracle of astronomical proportions. And you talk about this a lot. There's not even a way, like in different levels of chess understanding, to like mess this up for white. There's no way to stop this, and there's no way to not just play a bunch of checks after that if you're Nico.
Right, exactly. So yeah, I think you make the queen, the king moves, and now queen e5 and rook h7 should just be pretty easy. The only trick is rook g2, rook takes g3. That's the only way here for Michelle to try and stay in the game.
Wow, what a finish that would be, by the way, if that happens. If she sees rook g2 and Nico blunders king
and then
h1.
If king h1, rook g3 is the one mate that exists, the only mate that exists here. But I think rook g2, king f1 she will see, and then it's game over.
Well,
very
right
impressive
now,
game by Nico.
See that and
very
walks
impressive
herself
game
into
by Nico.
checkmate. Amazing.
Yeah.
Just to show what Hikaru said there, how it's so funny, because if Michelle had played rook g2, I think there's a chance that white would have played king h1, which is literally
I mean, to be fair, it's 50-50, right? You could go either way there.
Yep.
It's 50-50. Anything could have happened.
So it's obviously ended the way it was kind of supposed to, and that you know, Nico seemed to have played better and she won, but that would have been a wild finish.
Yeah.
Okay. We have game 1 in the books for our consolation bracket championship. That means Michelle is now in win or go home territory. Sending it to a tiebreak against Nico would be amazing, but she's got her work cut out for her. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back with game 2 of the consolation bracket final when Pogchamps 3 presented by GRIP6 returns.
All right. Definitely not my best game, but that was really hard. Good job, Nico. Oh, man. On to the next game. What did I miss? Oh, damn. Man. All right. I mean, honestly, guys, I feel like I peaked on Friday, and then I just have no idea how to play chess anymore after all of that. All right, now we just wait for the next game. Okay, I believe in myself. I believe in myself. Thank you for your support, guys.
And let's do a shout out to our merch store. If you enjoyed Pogchamps 3 presented by GRIP6, this is your chance to get some gear at Chess.com's merch store, commemorative of what an amazing event this was. It's pretty cool. I've got a shirt and a hoodie. They're comfy and cozy. If you want to go to Chess.com's merch store and pick yourself up some Pogchamp swag, go ahead and do it. Maybe your last chance to do so if it all runs out. It is limited in quantity. Speaking of last chance, this might be your last chance to play our Pogchamps bots. Not all of them will stay on the Chess.com server once the event is over. So I know a lot of people have really been enjoying beating Ludwig. I'm not going to lie, I've enjoyed all the tweets coming at me every time you do it. But Jokes aside, this is your chance if you want to play the Pogchamps bots before they disappear. And okay, this is your last chance if you're Michelle Carré, Hikaru, to make all your dreams come true here. What does she got to do in game 2 as white to make it happen?
Yeah, so here in game 2, I think for Michelle, she needs to keep it very tight, sort of be calm, just stick to her opening and play relatively quickly for the first like 10 moves, and then just get herself into the game. I think it's really, really important to do that.
Yeah, so kind of like don't lose your head sort of thing, right?
Exactly.
You still have a chance. So, all right. Well, game 2 is about to start. We are over $30,000 from the community, which means we're over $90,000 total, as that is double matched by Chess.com. That's awesome news. Let's get over 100,000 soon. Here we go. Game 2.
Right.
D4.
So here we go. So D4 played on move 1. Okay. So I think Michelle, she's been playing the London, right?
Yep. And she's been all London, all Pogchamps.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so Nico plays G6. Okay, now the one thing I would say is with the King's Indian, it's a little bit harder sort of to play the setup, and it's very dangerous because also it can go both ways, where there's going to be a knight bd7, e5, e4, a fork in the center again. So I think this could get very spicy right away.
I wonder if Nico got some tips on playing it. We know she fianchettos anyway, so maybe not. But I'll be curious to see what happens in the post-match interviews, because the King's Indian setup, as you said, is kind of perfect to play against the London.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I think it's a great opening setup. Like knight d7, rook e8, e5. I think Dog won a game against was it Zexro in Pogchamps 2? I don't remember which one. But now Nico goes d5, and I really don't like d5 here.
Yeah, a wasted tempo at the start, and Michelle plays queen c2. You often, if you can take a queen's pawn and your opponent can't take back with one of these pawns, you should do it and ruin the position. So we'll see if, wow, c5, Nico getting aggressive.
Yeah, I like actually, the thing that I will say about Nico though is it seems like it's one of these situations where there's like 1 or 2 moves where opponent has a chance to really get something, but immediately when they sort of don't seize on the opportunity, the game gets very complicated and they're forced to think and use up a lot of time.
Right.
And I think already it's going to be hard for Michelle here with all the pressure in the middle of the board with all these pawns here to not sort of think for a couple of minutes and potentially go wrong. Because it's not a common structure either out of the London system. Normally in London, you want something very smooth with the pawns on c3, d4, e3, but the pawns on c4 here. So it's going to be interesting to see what she does.
Yeah, and this is when you have these types of pawn trades. I mean, even super experienced, strong players can miscalculate, make the wrong decision, be left with an isolated pawn. So this is going to be super tricky. I do like knight d2, even though black is still okay as well. At least she's completing development.
Right.
But Nico, speaking of which, does the same thing, developing her knight.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I think in general terms, Nico's got a great position. I mean, the problem for Michelle, and this is why I also sometimes don't like the London opening, is if your opponent does not play a traditional pawn d5, pawn e6 setup, the ideas are not as clear-cut or straightforward. Like here, the bishop on f4, what is it really threatening? It's not threatening anything on this diagonal. The bishop on d3 as well is not threatening down towards the king on g8 here, because there are a bunch of pawns in the way. So the ideas are completely different, and I think it's very hard to play if you're not expecting it.
I agree. And you and I inadvertently end up not necessarily London bashing, but we agree so much on those conceptually, especially as coaches, that the problem with the system is if they get it, great. But if not, a lot of the pieces are not ideal for things principles you would normally want them focused on. And here, this is better for Nico, because you're either going to win the dark square bishop, or I don't think she's going to miss this fork when 2 knights can go there. So I think Nico's going to get an advantage yet again.
Yeah, and this one actually is significantly worse in terms of the texture, because the black king is so safe here that white doesn't really. But I mean, to her credit, Michelle finds bishop e4, which is actually a great move, because the only weaknesses black has here are on the queen side. That's it, nothing else. So it's very, very, bishop e4 is a great move by Michelle. Let's see what Nico does here. Yeah,
agreed.
Bishop e7, great move.
Now, you'd love to see Michelle save this bishop if she thinks about that. Although, I mean, obviously taking is natural as well.
Yeah, it's a tough position. Tough position here.
Even moves like bringing the rooks to the center would be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, it's very, it's a bad position. I mean, it's a tough position to play for white here. I mean, I think bishop takes knight and e4 is maybe an
that's
idea.
another great one.
Although, yeah, it's a tough position to play because there's just black's king is so safe here. You have no pieces towards where the black king is.
Yep.
So I think Nico, if she finds a couple of good moves here, she uses a little bit of time and plays a couple of good moves. I think she's very likely gonna win the match right here. So now knight takes is good. After pawn takes knight, I think knight a5 is the best move.
Knight a5
and
is a
we'll see
great
it for
move. In
Nico.
fact,
She connects, puts 2 and 2 together because in their first game in Pogchamps 3, she played against Sardoche, and she found a knight a5 idea with the bishop on b7. I don't know if it hit a queen on c4 or what it did exactly, but she definitely found an idea to play knight a5, opening up the diagonal for the bishop on b7.
I remember that was day one, and we had the call on that. She did find the idea, and remember she drew that game versus the second game versus Sardoche, and Sardoche, of course, strongest players in the event.
Right.
Knight takes f4 was a great move. Now this is troubling for Michelle. The fact that she's taking
Why is
so
she
much
thinking?
time here,
Yeah.
and ultimately decides to take the knight first. It's an understandable decision, though, even though it's probably going to lose the pawn.
It's a good decision overall. The problem here, though, when you look at the position, black has no weaknesses. There's only the bishop on c6 and the pawn on c5. Nothing else in the black position is weak at all. So the fact that Nico already won the first game, she's up on the clock. It's just very hard to come up with ideas to attack the black position. The king is safe with those 4 pawns.
Yep.
Queen side, like I said, only one weakness: pawn on c5, bishop on c6. If Nico, for example, trades the bishop for the knight and takes the pawn in the center, she has no weaknesses at all, and I think it's going to be very, very hard for Michelle to come back.
Yeah, you keep coming back to it, and now I realize I want to add to it because what Hikaru was saying about the king not being weak is so huge. Because especially for newer players, when you're in a position that's hard to blunder, that goes a long way, and it's really hard for Nico to mess this up with her king being so safe. That's kind of what you're alluding to, right, Hikaru?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just one of these situations where it's very, very hard to play.
Shout out to Fruit Snack with the $200 donation. Huge. Aspiring Insomniac. First of all, aren't we all? $100 donation. And then Atlas192 with $100. Thank you so much. All right, Rook C8. What a move by Nico, by the way. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, a great move. Bishop takes knight was maybe a little bit better. But again, for Nico, I think the most important thing is just don't blunder any pieces. If you don't blunder a bishop here, like I said, I think the position is gonna simplify, and the bishop on g7 is gonna be better than the knight. Now, one thing that I actually did not like was there were a couple of people who really tried to reinforce this notion for some of the students they were teaching that bishops are better than knights, and you know, bishops can be better than knights when it's more simplified and bishops have open diagonals. But in general terms, I think for players who are new to the game, bishops and knights are about equal. They are generally equal. It's only at more advanced levels that in some cases bishops are stronger than knights. So for example, like this position, the bishop is better than the knights, but you shouldn't always think about that. It just depends on sort of the piece placement and the open diagonals here.
Yeah, well said. But I agree. I think it's where advanced players sometimes it creeps in because at advanced levels we do talk about bishops being better than knight, but it takes a while, right? And the knight has so many other dynamic tricks to it. It's harder to spot tactics with knights, especially at beginner levels. So I agree. Although, as you just said, right now,
where's this pony going? Where's this knight going? Where's this knight going?
I was going to say right now, not only did Michelle
diagonal.
lose the pawn, but
what's happening?
If Nico sees
bishop g2 is actually a blunder because you could trade on
queen takes
c8.
c8. Oh, I was just testing you, Hikaru. You passed barely. F+.
But I mean, as long as Nico doesn't blunder here, though, she's just up a pawn. And again, look at the knight. The knight on d2, it doesn't have any great squares. And this game, unlike the first one, has been picture perfect. By Nico, I would say, I mean, okay, she played d5. That's the only move. d6 to d5. That's the only move that I think I could criticize at all in this entire game so far.
Yeah.
Only move that I could criticize.
No, that's high praise, and you're not kidding. I know she has played. This is other than d6 d5. This is a master level game here by Black.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow,
this has been great.
Well, Michelle also down 3 minutes, so it's going to take a lot for her to keep this consolation and her Pog Champs dreams alive.
Yeah, it's going to take some kind. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Owie! Oh no!
Oh my god!
Oh man. I do love how Nico,
Oh my
there's literally
God.
no expression on her face.
I know. I said that yesterday with Levy. She didn't smile until the match was over. Literally, she was expressionless
Oh
until
my
it was over.
God.
Yeah.
Oh man, poor Michelle. But also very well played by Nico.
Yeah, I mean, this has been, I mean, again, what to say? Nico made one move that at maybe above, I would say maybe 1800 level, probably. It's a bad move, but below that, it's negligible. And every other move except for that has been perfect. Just really, really nothing I can say. And she is going to be, I think, the deserving winner in the consolation bracket here in Pogchamps 3.
Yeah, I mean, wow. I think when we knew it was a clash of styles, yesterday, I think Levy and I were leaning Michelle would be getting the upper hand in those styles, and even this morning when you and I were talking about it, it felt like Michelle, but then push came to shove. Nico has really brought her A game in these last couple matches.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just honestly, it's the fact that she moves fast. But even when she makes mistakes, generally speaking, they aren't major mistakes. If she doesn't hang a queen like she did against Rubius or against Tubbo, other than those like glaring mistakes, all of her other moves in these games have been pretty good. Like no real errors or inaccuracies. So
yeah,
I think at the end of the day, when you play like that and you're really fast, your opponent, they start feeling the pressure on the clock too. And I think that's played a huge role in terms of her winning the consolation bracket.
Yeah. B takes A5, queen takes A5, just playing fast, solid chess. Now she's threatening to win the knight. She's also threatening queen D5 for the record, which would be a double attack, but we'll see how Michelle handles this.
Yeah, this is just brutal. Just fall apart with one move. And if Nico plays Rook D,
wow, dude, she's just playing a fantastic game right now. This is, you can't even be upset if you're Michelle. You just tip your hat. What a day.
Actually, I think in some ways that's actually the best kind of loss you can have.
Yeah.
Is when your opponent literally does nothing wrong, because then it's just like, okay, they just played really well, and that's just life. But yeah, what to say? Just brutal.
No, you're totally right, and we've talked about that a lot. The ones that really haunt you are the ones you know you were winning. The games where your opponent just kicks your ass, you're like, well, good stuff. Like
right. Yeah, just come back, try to be better, but that's how it goes. Like you can't really be that mad about it.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Rook D8. Michelle is down to 3 minutes and down to her perhaps final moments in Pogchamps 3, presented by GRIP6. Welcome everyone to the big show.
Yeah, this has been pretty incredible.
Clean it up.
Yeah, not much to say.
Will you go heat up your mug so you can prove to me the magic?
Yeah, I can go heat up more water. Give me 1 second.
That'd be sweet. Sorry, guys. I believe in magic, and I want to see it. Shout out to all of our subscribers as well, and again, the community support. We're over $93,000 total between us.
All right, so what happened?
Nothing. Nico's just cleaning up, and
yeah, this is just rough.
So let's talk a little bit about how the cleanest way is for Nico to convert here, because I think that makes these final moments instructional for the viewer. So if you were Coach Hikaru here, making sure your students always win when they're winning, what's the fastest way for Black to win this?
Queen D5 and Bishop C6, I was going to say, is the cleanest way to win. Okay, she plays F6.
Is there a mindset you have when you're up this much material? Should it even be just, if you don't see Queen D5, just do whatever you can to trade, or what would be the advice?
You could also try to trade. You could also try to trade off pieces. But yeah.
Well, now she's got Queen takes D1 and mate if she sees.
Yeah.
That would be. She sees that, we're walking out. Oh my god, we're walking out.
Yeah.
Here's Nico blowing through the final game here. Absolutely crazy. She misses mate though. She makes the mate on H1. Wow. You know what's funny there, Hikaru? Because I believe she just played queen takes d1 with the right converting mindset. She's like, well, I'm just going to trade everything because I'm up so much material. She didn't do it with seeing mate. She just did it to get the pieces off the board.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't see any way for Michelle to come back here. Yeah. So, now I don't think she'll see en passant here. Probably she'll just push e3. Yeah. And that's just, game over.
Well, thank you, Dark Sapient there with $250. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, just E2.
But wait a second. Even stalemate Steven can't save Michelle.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Stalemate does not help here. That's true.
And I don't think Nico's stalemating.
Yeah, very unlikely.
Multiple ways for mate in one. Choose your flavor. Oh.
Yeah. Well, that's almost there, but now,
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Checkmate.
Nico still has not smiled. She takes a calm drink of her juice. I don't know what's in it, but get me some of what she's drinking, because that was a grandmaster level game.
Right, exactly, yeah.
I feel like, one of those commercials where they're like someone does something amazing at the bar and you go, I'll have what he's having. That's how I feel right now. I'll have what she's having with what Nico just did. Congratulations to Nico. Hikaru, to start the event and share a little more behind the scenes, you pushed for Nico to get an invite, and you said how much you felt that she deserved it because she was streaming chess long ago, and we knew that she would love and probably be a good performer in the event. And here you go. She won the consolation bracket. Pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, as I think I said before, long before chess blew up, she actually did play some chess on stream. I think it was like late 2019, like October, November. So she was playing chess before it blew up, and she really enjoyed the game even back then. So I think it shows her experience definitely played a big role in terms of winning the consolation bracket.
Yep. Well, and of course, we'll have them for interviews, so don't go anywhere. Michelle Carre also deserves a huge round of applause. So when we return, Nico and Michelle join us for their final thoughts on their Pogchamps 3 presented by GRIP6 tournament. We'll be right back.
Dog. I don't know if you guys can hear it though. No, my neighbors aren't dogs. They just have a very loud dog. Yeah, Nico won. Let's go. Ale oro for Nico. Okay, wait. I play that. I guess I just have to take, yeah? Yeah, I'm gonna watch the finals on stream. I'm gonna play this, maybe. I was so scared for a moment. Okay. Oh, somebody made me dab. What the heck? And another hand heart? Okay. Dude, my bully rating is so low right now. I can't believe I tilted 100 points last night. Hey, Fady, how's it going? Oh, this opening is terrible. What am I doing? But it's fine. We'll make it work. Okay, so let's go in here, play that. Also, I promise you guys I'm not sad today, I just don't have any makeup on. Every time I don't have makeup on, I get asked a million times if I'm Sag. I'm not Sag, I just don't look great. I promise you it's fine. Here, this, that. I'm gonna go here and here. I mean, it's a losing position, but it's also bullet, so maybe my opponent will be a little bit less bright. Why am I down so much time though? What the heck? Okay, here. Lame.
Nico, what exactly is in that juice, and can I have some?
It is actually a Whole Foods mandarin juice. I don't know, it's sweeter than regular orange juice. So
Is that what Hikaru's drinking too? Is it what is it? Is it
I think he's just drinking black coffee.
Oh, okay.
I'm just drinking coffee in a mug. That's all I'm doing.
Nico, seriously, what a day here. You showed up and, you know, there was a lot of talk coming in about the different styles between you and Michelle. You're one of the fastest players in the event, albeit at times, we've talked about it, maybe sometimes people feel you play too fast, right? Michelle has been more methodical and had this, you know, she's obviously worked super hard with her approach to learn and try to master the game during the event. But you just came out, you played fast, you played well. What is going on with Nico today, and what can you say?
So honestly, I was actually really nervous when I was gonna play against Michelle today, because I actually lost her when we were playing some practice games with the Botezes. So I was all like she probably like is gonna crush me today, like blah blah blah. And luckily, like I was just like, I think I played a little slower than I normally did today, because I was you guys told me that she played very methodically. So I was actually very nervous the whole time I was playing up against her, because she seemed like she was really thinking a lot of her moves through. And not gonna lie, like a lot of her moves were very tedious. Like they were very like, oh my god, I can't believe she moved there. And you know, so I don't know. I was just very focused today because I was very nervous. And last night I was losing every chess game that I was playing on stream, so that didn't help either.
Michelle, I know this didn't maybe end the way you wanted, but I hope you don't mind me saying, I don't think it makes your Pogchamps debut any less incredible as far as where you came over the last few weeks, and what you did was inspiring to watch, and I can't wait to be inspired by whatever video comes out of it. But take us through what's going through your head. Like we said, I know this wasn't the ending you maybe wanted, but how are you feeling right now, and what are your final thoughts?
Oh my God, Nico was so amazing. It was so crazy. I feel like I spent so many hours trying to figure out how to attack the bird opening yesterday because that's what it seemed to be played. And then she comes out with something completely different today. And I was like, what am I even doing? I finished my opening, and I feel like I looked up and I was like, this is not what I was expecting right now. And it was so smart. It was so wonderful. And it's like so inspiring to see how much you've grown, and just to be clear, like I may have won one game, but Nico won the entire, like every other game we played together. It was one lucky game. So Nico's been totally working hard, and it's really inspiring and amazing. And as you guys said yesterday, Nico was streaming chess before it was cool to stream chess. So I think it's just only fitting that Queen Nico takes her throne. Go for it, Nico.
Michelle, thanks so much. Yeah, I really couldn't come up with, because I haven't been able to take other lessons with other people, and I was just really actually nervous on top of that, because I just couldn't, I didn't know what anyone was playing, and I felt like everyone knew I was playing birds opening, because that's the only thing I just knew at the time. And I felt like I needed to find a way to juke like my opponent, so like I try to open up differently. So I'm happy that worked, but you were very much a very great opponent. Thanks, Michelle. I appreciate those nice words.
Yeah, of course. And I think it's just even more inspiring that you were literally like moving around the country. You changed apartments. You had a literal like power outage for several days, and you still showed up so composed and played so wonderfully. And I think it's just so inspiring. So I'm
just
so
sweating a little bit, just a little bit.
Hikaru, do you think if Nico can switch from bad openings and win, do you think I have a chance to switch from bad openings and win chess games?
Maybe one day, Danny. But Nico also has one other thing you don't have, which is that she knows how to make moves very quickly with confidence, and that's not something that you possess.
You're right. Hikaru, any other thoughts we have for our two players here?
What's that?
I said, you have any other questions for our players here?
Not really. I mean, I just want to say, like, for Michelle, it was amazing to see her progression from someone who at the very start of the event, I think you had only learned the basic rules and then just grinding and playing every day. And you did win 2 of your matches here in the consolation bracket. So I thought it was a great performance. Then for Nico, I mean, even after coming very close in the group stage, just to win, I think, win all your matches. You won 2 of them in the Blitz games as well. It's just amazing nerves and amazing chess. And you just played really well throughout. So very, very well-deserved victory.
Thank you.
Well, and again, we thank both of you just for being a part of the event, and of course for choosing the charities you did, both Face Africa for Michelle and UNICEF for Nico. And again, they're both going to get a check because of your ladies' performance here, right? You made it all the way to the end, and just again, thank you so much for being a part of it. Congratulations, Nico and Michelle. Can't wait to see how the story turns out.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, Michelle.
Wow, what a fitting ending there. That was a wild ride, Hikaru. Not what I saw coming, but in the end, Nico's experience, her intuition, right? Some nerves from Michelle, and also again the fact that Nico played something that Michelle was maybe not prepared for. You know, sometimes when you're prepared for something and then your opponent plays different, it's not what they did differently was that great, but it also hurts you psychologically. And I feel like the way Michelle talked about that made me feel like she was really thrown off more psychologically than she should have been.
Yeah, definitely. I think, especially when you see an opponent play the same opening, it throws you off. That being said, I feel on one hand, perhaps maybe on a psychological level, she should have been a little bit more prepared for something different, because Nico really did go outside the box against Tubbo. She did not play traditional birds openings in either game. So it seemed like she already was starting to branch out.
I agree, and in hindsight, looking at it from yesterday, you're right. She was already mixing it up, and that should have maybe been a clue. And either way, I think it's just a good lesson. I mean, as a chess player, as any kind of competing athlete, you got to be ready for everyone has a plan until you get punched, right? And I think sometimes when your opponent does something different, it's about gathering yourself mentally even more than it is with the X's and O's. And shout out to Nico for throwing Michelle off and taking home.
I mean, Nico deserved to win. I mean, she deserved to win. It's just that simple.
Sure.
She played the best shots today, so very, very well deserved.
Well, we have a championship bracket coming up, but before we do, another shout out to Gayaki Yerba Mate. They are celebrating 25 years. You know it. Get your emotes out, spam it, subscribe. If you got some Prime, throw it our way. It's free anyway. It doesn't cost you anything, and now you might win a whole bunch of cases of Yerba Mate because of it. So celebrate 25 years of everyone's favorite regenerative beverage with us by spamming your emotes. And don't go anywhere. Hikaru and I preview and then dive into the championship of Pogchamps 3 presented by GRIP6 in just a few minutes.
This bishop is really annoying. Maybe I can just like go for the king. Like maybe he just won't notice. This is fine. This is not fine. You can take that. Or you can just play this too. Wow. What a genius. Okay. I think he noticed. Yeah, I think he noticed. Oops. Thought I could farm the dude, but he actually wasn't that bad. Okay, I kind of screwed up my castling. I screwed up my pawn structure, so now that I already have it screwed up, why not screw it up even more? Let's just go here. He's gonna play this. Or not. I mean, it's a very scuffed rouser. It could be worse, honestly.
Face Chess gifted a tier 1 sub to
Oh, thank you, Face Chess, for the gifted sub. Thank you. Okay, Why am I not just winning today? Okay, so if I go here, he has to play that, then I can go here. I mean, he just retreats his rook, I guess. This is real bad. I don't like this. Yeah, that's a good move. Okay. Aw, thank you, Newport Mac, for the
Nomad
gifted sub.
gifted a
Thank
tier
you.
1 sub to Gabibitix.
And Michelle still reacted so well. She still reacted so well, and it was a tough defensive position, but you got your pieces out, lady. And then Nico too made a mistake in that one moment. She only made that one blunder, which was also crazy to see that the previous matches had more mistakes. In today's final, Nico was super focused and she barely made blunders. There was 1 or 2 moments when she went wrong. In every other moment, she was spotting the opportunities she had. So it was rough in that sense that it felt like Nico was really very sharp today, and the psychological side too was a tough one, especially when the first game is decided in one's favor and then you need to make a comeback. And Michelle just wanted to play the Bottas Gambit for the raid we got from the Bottas live channel. No, I'm gonna stop those bad jokes, because this is always difficult. I've been there. I've done that many times when I feel really awful about my own chess, because I know that I could have done better. And it's not about not trying hard enough. It's so many factors when it comes to competitive chess. Sometimes the stars align and everything is working amazing, and other times you feel like nothing is working. And even grandmasters who play all the time, their life is to compete at professional level. Even grandmasters sometimes. I talked to one of them, a Polish grandmaster who won a tournament that I played. He won the tournament and he was asked what did he do differently to the previous tournament where he came like bottom last. So imagine someone who's a grandmaster, 2700. His name is Radoslav Wojtaszek. He's one of the top players of Poland. He's winning the tournament where I'm talking to him and when I'm listening to this interview as well, and he's asked what's the difference, what did he do differently to this event that he has just won, to the previous tournament where he came like bottom last or he did very poorly. And he said he had no idea. He didn't know what made the difference, because he had the same routine, same knowledge, same preparation. And one tournament turned out really poorly, and the other one he ended up winning within a short span of time, the 2 tournaments, one after the other. And when Grandmaster
And as the consolation bracket champion is crowned, Queen Nico, as Michelle said, retakes her throne. We get set for who's gonna take the belt home between Rain Wilson and Sardoche. Cara, we pulled up a couple of their big wins that got them into this championship match, just for you and I to take a quick look at, and for the community to get your thoughts on the different players' strengths and weaknesses. So I chose this one right here, Hikara, where obviously this game got crazy, but Sardoche's feel for the middle game and where to put his pieces seems maybe at a higher level than anyone else in the event. And he started the plan with Rook H4, doubling the rooks in 95. Take us through this game and take us through your thoughts on just what makes Sardoche such a good player.
Well, before we get to that, Danny, you said you wanted to see some magic, so I thought I would show you some magic.
Oh, the magic, yes. Okay, so how does that work? Heat turns colors different?
I don't know. I mean, because Twitch is owned by Jeff and Amazon, I just went to Amazon.com, and they have these mugs where you can get an image that's put on it. And yeah, if you have hot water, it comes on, you'll see like a picture or writing or whatever. And then if it's cold water, then there's nothing on it. So I'm not a scientist or anything like that, but I do believe in science, and they come up with some amazing things.
If this were Salem, you and I would be having a serious talk as we move toward the, the fire pit. That's what I'm going to say. This sounds tomfoolery to me. All right, so Rook H4 played by Sardoche, but your thoughts on just the Frenchman and all that he does well?
Right. So I thought the way Sardoche played this game was really, really good. I think in open positions, he excels in terms of the basic concepts, the basic ideas. Like doubling the rooks here was really good. He played 95 after that. The one thing that I think that is worth noting in this game, now it got a lot closer than it should have, even though Sardoche won, was that once he was ahead by the exchange, he tried too hard to tunnel on this idea of pushing the pawn to f3. Now, I'm not sure what the reasoning behind that was. If it's just like he had learned something in a lesson, it was like he thought he had to go f3 g4 for whatever reason. But the thing that was really important was that in this position, he didn't really need to do that. He could have just gone for g4 right away here, for example, tried to open up the position. So it feels like when he gets to open position, he has the aggressive ideas. He's very good, but sort of when he needs to come with like a 2 or 3 step plan, he sometimes can tunnel on the wrong idea and get into trouble. And so that's the drawback. And that's why I was going to say that when he played against the games that he lost, like Ludwig, the second game, and the game against Benji Fishy, they were, or the match against Benji Fishy, they were all positions that were very closed. There were no open files. It was very much about maneuvering. I guess Ludwig's game, there was really one open file. But nonetheless, they were very closed positions. And I think that makes a big difference. So Sardoche seems like the more open the position is, the more aggressive he can be, the better he does. And
it makes a ton
for
of
Reign
sense.
to win this match, Reign needs to get positions like he had against Benji, sort of this Slav Schlechter opening where it's very closed, or things where he gets very clear-cut piece development. Because the games against Benji that he won yesterday, for example, it seemed like the piece placement was pretty straightforward. He had a basic idea and he went with it. So I think for Reign, he's just got to get positions where he knows the structure of the pawns and he has piece placement where he knows where like the knights and the bishops go.
Great breakdown. It almost seems like you said, so after Sardoche played super well here, maybe his own obsession with getting an open position is what had him obsessed with all the f3 stuff instead of realizing, hey, you want material, you can make trades here, you could do other simpler plans, even like g4. And like you said, Reign had a good, kind of delivered that heavyweight punch in the first game. I like how Levy said it, where he got this good French. But the truth is, other than the straightforward French, in that second game, he was clawing his way back versus Benji. And I wonder if this match might come down to who has the mindset that works better when it doesn't go their way, right? Because we know that if both players do the things that they're good at, maybe they can run away with it. But I want to see who handles the first punch, right? Who gets punched and doesn't just fall apart. It'll be interesting to see.
I mean, to me, I think it's pretty clear cut. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think if Sardoche keeps his nerves under control, I think has very good chances to win. The biggest single weakness Sardoche has is that when he gets low on time or he gets a little bit uncomfortable with the position, that he can panic somewhat. Also, on top of that, unlike most of the other players, it feels like Sardoche has the entire French community behind him, rooting for him. And I think that also adds a lot of pressure. Like someone like Reign, certainly the entire country of the United States on Twitch is not here like watching him and rooting for him. So it's definitely a little bit different.
Pretty much just fans of The Office, or people who don't have a lot to do. Honestly, you're right. In fact, I wonder sometimes if that, obviously it plays into your emotions when you've got a million fans behind you, but it might also play into his nerves, right? So it'll be interesting to see.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like, what is the saying? If I have 1 million fans, I'm one of them or something. I forget how it goes, but anyway, here we go, right on cue. Yeah, so as I was saying, like Sardoche, if you watch when he does his normal streams, he might have 2,000-3,000. I've noticed during Pogchamps, he's getting up to like 25,000-30,000 viewers. So it really does feel like everyone's coming out and supporting him.
Yep. Oh man. Well, we are going to have quite the battle here. We're also going to be joined by the players similarly to how we were with Nico and Michelle, for them to talk a little bit about the charities they chose. So can't wait to hear from them on that. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take our last break before being joined by the players for the charity interviews, and then the games will begin. Pogchamps 3 presented by GRIP6 when we return.
I myself am trying to learn the piano, but I'm super beginner. I'm a super beginner at piano. I wonder if he's also really good at the piano. I feel like Sardoche is the type of person that gets really good at everything he does, because he said that he gets obsessed. He gets obsessed with things that he likes, and then he just gets good at them because he's obsessed. Oh, Levy's playing. We can be stalking Levy in the meantime. I don't really speak French, so I'm just gonna mute in the meantime until the games begin. Oh, that's me. We are following, by the way. Hello, Chess.com. We have been watching the match between Nico and Michelle, because I've been working with both ladies, with Michelle more closely, because then, as Nico explained it on previous shows, she had other issues to sort out, such as no power, no clean water, no food, having to move to another state, all those life issues, basic human needs that I'm happy to hear that Nico is now in a better place, and that she has all those normal conditions that we take for granted. When Nico had to face that kind of challenge right in the midst of the tournament, that meant that she couldn't take any coaching sessions for the past 2 weeks. And I'm so proud of both of them. Nico played extremely sharp and well today, but Michelle has been doing really well in the previous matches against Mr. Beast and against Pokey. And the fact that she has started this as a challenge a month or so ago for her serious challenge accepted, it's crazy to see that it really is possible to go from zero to hero. I've just been showing her YouTube channel because she has done so many amazing challenges, but most of them, she said, are physical challenges. She is a former cyclist, Michelle, and her challenge accepted features things like training to be an FBI agent, a firefighter, a lifeguard, all sorts of crazy difficult physical challenges, but this was the first mental challenge, and she has come so far. She made it to the finals. She made it to the finals against participants that oftentimes had more experience than her. And this has been a fascinating match. I know that, as I said, I know that Michelle will be frustrated, not about the result, but that she will feel like she could have done better, because we all feel bad when we don't play our best chess, and Michelle knows to play, knows that she knows. When you know that you know that you know that you could have done better, that's the frustrating part. I think that's what makes one upset more rather than the result. It's more about just the fact that you try your best, but you don't feel like you're actually doing your best. And that's what I was trying to describe earlier, that chess is such a mysterious game in that sense that sometimes it really feels like everything is smooth and easy and the stars align, and other days you are like, what am I doing? And you're really trying your best both days, but somehow they don't seem to be the same person, the same level of chess, and your knowledge is the same, your preparation is the same, your routine is the same, and you don't perform the same way. That's how it goes sometimes. Soraka, thank you so much for the 2 months in advance. We are following this potential Pogchamps 4 participant. Gotham Chess here with the black pieces. A very, very promising participant for a future edition of Pogchamps. Here, he's trying to get one of these pawns. His king made it all the way to h3, attacking g3, but the white king is guarding it. Bishop to g4 is his threat, check and picking up the knight. But that knight could come here and give a check, push the king back. Will we see that? Knight coming here makes sense because that puts pressure on this pawn and blocks the passed pawn. This makes perfect sense too. I think they... Ooh, repetition of moves. The king comes here now so that the bishop, when the bishop goes back, then the pawn would fall. Bishop g4 ain't a good move here. Bishop to c6, putting pressure on the e4 pawn as well. I am predicting a very brave draw for this game. That's my very, very brave call here. Zero, thank you so much for the 16 gifted subs. I think it's 16 because of our sub goal for real. We're gonna hit 2000, which is kind of like my bullet chess rating. I'm terrible at bullet chess and Levi constantly makes fun of it. I really want to be playing in Pogchamps 4. Come on, we can get there. With my bullet skills, Pogchamps 4, I certainly should be considered. I certainly should be considered.
Just like I did not try to lose my queen in that first game.
Well, we are live here with some, it's been fun, playful banter off camera, but we're live now to everyone, and Rainn Wilson and Sardoche. We're here to talk a little bit about the charities you guys chose and let the fans know more about what their donations will be going towards. So, Sardoche, let's start with you. You chose Secure Populaire, if I said that right, and it's a foundation that helps education for kids, but talk a little bit about what it does and what that organization means to you and why you chose it.
They do a lot, actually. They are not simply focused on people studying or stuff. But right now, the COVID situation puts students in a deep trouble. Like some don't have enough money to actually pay their study. They can't even pay their bill for their house. They have to work on the side to actually survive. And it's really hard to actually be so isolated. So it helps people with money, it helps people with food, it helps people having somewhere to live, and they help people just keeping their mental sane because it's really hard to support the situation as a student in France right now. Sorry for my French. Sorry for my English.
Don't be sorry at all, man. That's awesome, and it seems like an amazing organization. Rain, I know that you and your wife founded your particular charity, Lede Haiti, and you talked a little bit about it earlier, but tell the world a little more about it and all the things you guys are doing down there.
Thank you. Thanks, Danny. Sardoche, really nice to meet you. I was just chatting and saying hi.
Awesome.
And listen, I want to thank everyone for their donations. I mean, I think the chess community has been really generous. You never think like, oh, these pimply weirdo nerds would be generous, but really have been, and supporting Hikaru, some of his charity stuff's been great. Chess.com has been a great supporter of, raising money for nonprofits. So Lide Haiti is an organization I started with my wife in rural Haiti, and we do education, arts education and literacy for at-risk adolescent girls way out in remote Haiti. I mean, really far out there. We're working with 800 girls at about 11 locations.
Wow.
And we have a mobile computer lab. We teach reading and writing. We do scholarships and do healthcare, provide food. And it's a really awesome organization. And I'm really grateful to Chess.com for letting me be part of this. And I mean, I've already raised a little bit and hopefully raise some more. And thanks so much. And so make sure you guys are watching. Make sure you're giving. Give big, you guys, because Chess.com is going to match whatever you guys put in.
Yeah.
And now we're matching double for anyone who maybe just tuned in. That means collectively together, we have already raised more than $98,000. And it's been an awesome day so far. So let's keep going. Let's get over that six-figure mark soon. And it sounds amazing. Sounds like we need to get some chess memberships too in the hands of Lede Haiti as well, Rain. So we'll talk about this. Some chess kid memberships too. That sounds incredible stuff. Thank you both for choosing the organizations you did. What were you going to say?
First, we need to get them electricity and then internet and then Chess.com membership.
Obviously, priorities, chess right above, some other things. So anyway, guys, seriously, thank you so much. We know you both have a chess match to go play, and your earnings will go toward great causes. So best of luck to you both, and Hikaru and I will see you guys on the other side.
Great.
Bye, guys. All right. That was pretty funny. Definitely clothing and food and electricity and water come before chess, but maybe chess is fifth in that list.
But I was going to say on the flip side, even if you don't have electricity or internet, one of the great things about chess is you can buy an actual just a small pocket chess set or a wooden board, plastic board pieces, and is one of those things that you don't actually need electricity or internet to play.
Yeah. Resin 8, $250. There were multiple $100 donations. Guys, we're going to get there. Let's get there. Let's get to our goals. We're on track, and this is super exciting. The Day Haiti sounds amazing, as does Secure Populaire. Either way, remember the 15% goes to the winner. So if we raise the full amount, it would actually be $30,000. And we've got 15,000, so 7.5% to the runner-up. So either way, these guys have already done some good work, and we'll see just how far we can go. Let's remind you of all the other charities that were chosen, because every one of these is getting some money, no matter what, even if your particular charity, i.e. as a streamer or player, didn't finish in the top of the money, no matter what, the distribution will make sure that every single one of these organizations gets at least some sort of funding from the community here and from Chess.com. So, all right. Hikaru, we've been ready for this. We've talked it through. It's Rain Wilson versus Sardoche. I don't even know what to say. I can't wait. And final thoughts before our last break, and then come back for the games.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really exciting matchup. I think the one thing is Sardoche. I could tell when they were talking before, he's perceiving Rain to be stronger than Rain's performance has been. So I think for Sardoche, he's felt a lot of the weight, feeling like the big favorite. I think he perhaps does not feel like the favorite in this match, even though I think he is the big favorite. So it could be a lot easier for him psychologically to relax and just focus on playing his best chess.
Well, they were teasing each other, and Sardoche was teasing Rain about the stalemate yesterday, and Rain saying he didn't mean to, but who knows the banter there.
Well, I mean, hashtag paid actor.
Hashtag paid actor, exactly. But Hikaru, should we share any of the charity idea that Rain asked you to do?
Probably not.
Okay.
I think, this isn't Saikuno's stream, so it's a
It
little
is.
bit
So we'll keep our clothes on, and we'll just leave it at that. Don't go anywhere, everyone. It's the final match, of Pog Champs 3 presented by GRIP6 in just a couple minutes. It's the final match, of Pog Champs 3 presented by GRIP6 in just a couple minutes.
What are those charity
It's the final
goals? Oh shoot, we are listening. I'm serious. I was totally not spying on the actual broadcast. We are watching Gotham Chess, of course. This is I'm so looking forward to the finals between Sardoche and Rain Wilson. I've been watching the interview, obviously, and their discussion about the charities they are supporting. What happened? What happened here? Can someone tell me? This game, bullet chess, obviously, Levy plays this move. Gotham Chess with the white pieces. Now, he tweeted a screen capture of my stalemate. Can we tweet this? Queen to G7. G7! Alright, he had like 3 seconds left and he wanted to flag his opponent. Maybe it makes him feel even better that he won on time without the queen. Imagine playing the Botus Gambit where he has 3 seconds left on the clock. 3 seconds left. 65,000 people tweeting. My name is Anna. Really nice to meet all 65,000 of you. I've been a coach for Pogchamps and you may have seen me on some of the shows, but I'm really looking forward to today's watch party here at my channel and the main show, of course, by Danny and Hikaru. This has been such a fascinating event. I've been saying it so many times on my own streams that Pogchamps is one of my favorite events. And I've been to a few events, not to brag, but I have been playing chess my whole life, so I know how it feels. Some of the most known tournaments I've been to either as a competitor or later the last 6-7 years I spent working on a lot of chess broadcast, chess commentary. I've been to the Chess Olympiad, I've been to Norway Chess, Wykonze, Grand Chess Tour, World Championship between Magnus and Fabiano Caruana. I was lucky to be hosting it in London with Judith Polgar, so I think when I compare those events to Pogchamps and I say that Pogchamps is one of my favorites out of all these events, it's for a reason. It's such a different event. It makes chess more accessible. I truly think that Pogchamps is a door to everybody to enter in the chess world, because when Grandmasters play, that's one of course, the highest level of chess, but it can feel intimidating to watch a chess broadcast because the players are so much above the viewer's level that it's difficult to understand fully what's going on. And with Pogchamps,
well, and even though I'm not really sure how Rain would feel about being cast as the Sith, Hikaru, this is some pretty good fan artwork here, right?
Yeah, this is really nice artwork by who's this one by? Don Louboutin, I think it was. But yeah, it's really well done. You see Rain here, you see Sardoche, you see Kevin Board, you see Chiyu, then there's Yoda. I'm not quite sure who Yoda is exactly, but there's Yoda here too.
Yeah, the face has been doctored in some way, but maybe people can let us know. Either way, that's some pretty good stuff from a guy who knows fan artwork. Hikaru has his own subreddit pretty much dedicated to the memes his fans make, but that's pretty good, especially when you look at Rain's hat here, Hikaru, the Chess Wars hat. And it is Chess Wars, and we are ready to roll. I think Sardoche sending up his final prayers to the chess gods. Save your breath, Sardoche. I've been praying to the chess gods for years. Look where it's gotten me.
Viva la France. That's all I'm gonna say. I bet everything on. I just bet everything on Sardoche. So he better not let me down.
Okay. Well, Hikaru, have you ever prayed to the chess gods? Did they answer your prayer and not mine? Is that what happened?
No, I mean, generally I don't do that. I think the only thing I will say is that sometimes there's some superstitions I have. I think I've noticed Sardoche has worn the same shirt, right? I think he's worn the same shirt during every match. So he does. I don't. Maybe he just wears the same shirt every day because I mean we know there's a certain other French-speaking streamer who does that. So maybe I mean Sardoche is trying to just trying to model after him. But I do think Sardoche has worn the same shirt for every match. We should ask him afterwards, especially if he wins, if that's the reason. Is because he's superstitious.
Well, Sardoche plays e6, which is, I'll just be honest, not a move order Rain and I looked at for his b3 system, which going to be interesting to see. And Rain has always liked this b3 idea against the Sicilian. It worked out really well, even maybe better than people thought it would against Michelle in his first game. But it has its drawbacks.
Also Charlie too,
and against Charlie too. So we'll see. Sardoche clearly did some work. Kevin Bourdie was talking to me on Slack this morning. I think it was a little bit of trash talk, but I'm too thick to get it. You know me, Hikaru. I don't even know what a lot of things are.
Right.
But anyway, so B3 played. Here comes Bishop B2. Go ahead.
What is the idea behind what Sardoche is playing? I'm trying to figure out because he clearly is expecting B3 in some order here.
Yeah.
So what is Sardoche expecting?
I think the idea is in D5 and D4 becomes a problem for White, and I don't know that Rain will be ready to deal with that. Anyway, I think the idea for Black is to get D5 and D4 in to make Bishop B2 feel like kind of a lost boy over there.
Right, but after Bishop B2, D5, pawn takes, Bishop B5, it's already very tricky. So I'm kind of wondering what they've looked at, because it's hard for me to believe that Sardoche has not looked at this ahead of time. Feels almost impossible that they haven't looked at some version of this.
Well, Rain's taking his time here, down to 8 minutes and 30 seconds. And does finally play Bishop B2. I do like that he's thinking it through because it's not a line we've looked at, but we'll see how he handles it. By the way, community, thank you for the donations. Crushing it, and it's amazing to see where we're getting.
So far, pretty. Ooh, I don't like E5.
Yeah, and that's a move that... Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you first.
Chipotle Sensei just donated $1,000. Oh my Jeezer snaps. Chipotle Sensei. First of all, if there actually is a Chipotle Sensei, is there a burrito school? And can I learn how to roll a fat burrito? Come on, that was good. Laugh.
No, it's not about that. It's just I was going. There's a completely different train of thought, and then we started talking about Adono instead of about the chess. I was just thinking about the chess, and then suddenly we go off on a completely different tangent.
Yeah. Well, Rain and I talked.
Yeah. You first.
We talked about this structure, Hikaru, and eventually, in a lot of positions, it can be very effective, especially if we use our imagination and get everything we want. But this is definitely going to be hard to deal with if Black gets D4 and this pawn becomes weak. So, I think Sardoche has definitely won the opening battle in terms of prep here.
I'm not so sure, and I'll tell you why, because this has kind of turned to an advanced French in a sense, and Sardoche has only played the Sicilian. So the whole structure of where the pawns are for Black on F7, E6, D5, objectively, it's very good for Black. But Sardoche does not play the French, so I'm not actually so sure that it's as good as we think it is, even though objectively the position is great for Black.
Okay, yeah, no, I agree. And Rain takes there. I think it's because he just wants to get D4. Shout out to Blake with the $420 non-auspicious donation. Really appreciate it. And even C3. So as much as this is not the ideal setup, I do like that Rain is going for an idea that we talked about, which I did advise him. This is a structure you can shoot for. Obviously, we hoped to have a light square bishop in some of those positions, which, it's not going to be as good for him. But at least he's sticking through with a plan, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, so this is what I expected Rain to do after he played E5, was try to get it back into sort of advanced French structure with the connect 4 from B2, C3, D4, E5 versus F7, E6, D5. So objectively, very good for Black, but Sardoche doesn't play the French, so I really do like this. I mean, I do like the start from Rain. I don't think it's as bad as we assume it is at a more advanced level, because again, at this level, players usually they prepare one opening. So when you think about the Sicilian, very rarely does it transpose into a French structure like.
Yep.
There might be the C3 Sicilian, which Ludwig had, where it can get like that, but otherwise it doesn't generally turn into this.
Well, and you highlighted that Sardoche maybe not a fan of closed positions, so maybe that works out okay for Rain. But shout out to Braren with a $500 donation, and then I9AJ Koi on YouTube with a $300 donation. We're doing it, guys. We're getting closer to 40,000. Honestly, if we reach 50,000 and all 100K comes out of Chess.com's pocket, I would be thrilled. It's all coming out of Eric's paycheck, our CEO. So let's make it happen.
And by the way, Danny, here's more magic.
Okay.
We're back to normal.
I am going to research this shenanigans and get back to you. We'll see if Rain
Yeah,
can
I mean,
play e4.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going back to the chess. I know that's like a twist ending you didn't see coming. I was focused on the chess. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, yeah. So just make sure to, I mean, just buy a mug with your picture on and give it to your wife.
Can I get that mug at the store, at the Hikaru store?
I don't have this in my merch yet. No.
Ah, you need one. A magic mug at the Hikaru store.
Right. All right. So back to the chess. Do you think Sardoche is going to find Bishop B5 here or not to stop White from castling?
Yeah, it is okay. Objectively, it is better for Black, everyone, because of the light squared bishop that White does not have. This could be huge. And honestly, if Sardoche saw a move like Bishop B5, that could be a really big thorn for Rain in this position to stop castles. Not sure if he'll find it.
Yeah, if he finds Bishop B5, he's in really, really good shape. But he plays Knight F5, which I like also. It's a good move. Good, solid move to go Bishop E7 and castle your king. Again, objectively, very, very good position for Black. And I would say for Sardoche, the one good thing is, even though it's a little bit closed, there is an open file. Yeah. So it's not completely closed in the way that his games against Ludwig or his games against Benji were. So I think he's looking very good so far.
Well, even though you and I will probably still be doing commentary over him, let's remind the whole French community he is streaming and listen into Sardoche for the first time today. We appreciate the audience there. $200 from Float Along, another $100 from Air Hadoken, and $100 from M. Copeland. You guys, awesome.
It is awesome, Danny. I will say one thing though. I think it's Hadouken, not Hadoken. This is Twitch.
Okay. Thank you.
You know you have played Street Fighter, right?
Oh, like Ryu kick.
Hadouken.
Is it Ryu kick? Yeah. I remember that. I could do like down AB, and then like Blanca would go into a fiery ball and kick Ryu in the face.
Are you talking about Dhalsim or something? I don't know which character you're talking about. But anyway, all right.
Okay. So A5 played. This is actually a big head move from Andreas, just because he recognizes that he really doesn't want the pieces to get cramped on the queen side. So playing A5, that's a very good move. Rain really should just kind of. That's a good move, I think. In response, he's trying to build on it. Although if Andreas sees Bishop A4, owie for White.
Yeah, Bishop A4 is a very good move. So Bishop A4 here is completely fine. Black can also trade and move the queen.
Yeah, if he sees Bishop A4 with Queen C4, thank you, Lewis Kaczynski, for $100 dono. But Rook C1, if Rain gets Rook C1, I mean, the position is still very tricky. And the one thing I'll observe is Sardoche's time. Rain was down 1.5 minutes, but we have seen that completely turn around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Rain is doing fine here. I think Rook C1 is a pretty good move if he can get it in. The issue for Sardoche here is that it can't really attack the pawn on B4 here. Maybe you can take and go Queen E7, but White has Knight C5 here.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if Sardoche's time taking is him feeling like he lacks a plan, or if he's just nervous. I think he does have several kind of good logical moves, but maybe he's worried about Knight to C5 and just doesn't see Bishop A4.
Yeah, no, it is possible. I mean, I think Bishop A4 does allow Queen D3 though, so it's still very much a game. I don't like, I have to say though, I feel like it's easier for Rain to play than it is for Sardoche to play here, just based on the placement of the bishops and the knights.
Right.
So in a way, I would rather be, I would kind of almost rather be White here, because it feels like Black. I mean, Sardoche is down. Wow, he finds it though. Good move.
Yeah, that's a
now,
great
will
move.
he see Queen D3, Queen C4? Will he see Queen C4 here? This is actually the moment of truth.
Huge move.
Yeah, will he see Queen C4? Because I think after Queen C4, Black is quite a bit better. I could be wrong, of course, but I feel like Queen C4 is a very strong move here.
I'm kind of impressed that it's not that Rain found Queen D3, but he played it so fast, Hikaru. I think that's a good sign for Rain, just that he saw how dangerous the pin was and is maintaining a time advantage. Real quick, we got to keep shouting out. Low CUZN, $500. Dan Cakes, love that, $100. M Armor, $100. Armor. Wow, I'm okay. Potts Blitz, $250, and Mr. PG with $100.
Yeah,
I'm sure
so,
you know these names, Hikaru. You raise money for charity more than anybody. maybe anybody on Twitch over the last month, to be honest, but certainly anyone in the chess community. But these guys coming through the whole community. Thank you, everyone. Gustavo with 150 bucks just now. This is awesome.
Well, I would actually, in terms of someone who's done an amazing job raising money for charity, I would actually point to Sardoche and the French community streamers who, I think it was at the end of last year. I could have my dates wrong, but they raised $7 million for UNICEF, I believe it was.
What?
If I'm not I think it was UNICEF. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it was UNICEF.
Oh my God.
But they raised $7 million for charity. Or no, it was Amnesty. Amnesty, that's what it was. Not UNICEF. It was Amnesty. Wrong one. Yeah. So it was Amnesty, but they raised $7 million. $7 million.
Dude,
so
Destroy Computers just donated $1,234.56.
Wow.
And
Pick
or You're Lying. Love that name. Pick or You're Lying, 150 bucks. I went to the school for kids who don't read good, so apologies if I can't pronounce your name correctly on camera. Hikaru, take us through what's going to happen here. Rain, I don't think saw Queen C4 as evidenced by the fact that he's really taking his time here. What does White need to do here? This is a really tricky moment.
But there's only one move, which is trading queens, right? Because
and then you got to find knight c5
away. Or knight d2. I'm actually not sure which one's better. Both are playable, I think. But I don't know why he's thinking here. Now, one thing that I would say, especially in rapid chess and blitz chess, is if you're in a situation where there's only one move, you just play the move.
Yeah.
And then you think on the next turn, but you don't spend your time now thinking before you play the move. You sort of, if there's only one option, you always just play it immediately. And then you think on the next turn. In a slow game, you can do it the other way, but in a rapid game or a blitz game, that's generally the correct process.
Yeah, no, you're right. Especially from a practical point of view, it just, no matter what, why take that time? Because you can't anticipate future critical moments where you need that time. So I agree. This is a nervous moment for Rainn Wilson where he's nearing 2 minutes taken on the clock and still hasn't played the only move. He plays knight c5.
It's a good move. It's still a move though. He can play the other order. I would have traded and then gone knight c5. He can still do it this way too though.
Okay. No, you're right. It's not a blunder. And now Sardoche with 3.5 minutes. Happy $100. One Gray Buffalo, $500. Bellian, $500. Tilal, Tilal, $500. And Omnipol, $250. You guys are doing it. You're going to make Chess.com pay up. We're going to reach that 50,000 marker, which means $100K from Chess.com. $150,000 total to charity is what we're on pace for. Thank you for helping us get there.
Wow. Amazing. Chess is amazing. The charities are amazing. It's been a great day so far. And we're really close, I think, to that critical moment in this first game where something is going to happen. Something dramatic is going to happen.
Yeah, you mean the eval bar and Danny falls out of his chair. Okay, Queen D3, Knight D3.
I don't think we're going to have those kind of bar swings. I think both players are strong enough that we'll see some mistakes, but we're not going to see someone hang a queen, for example. I just don't think that's going to happen in this match. Because they both look so focused.
Knight takes D3. So you're good at evaluating which players.
Look at the time, Danny. Look at the time.
Sorry, what?
Look at the time. Wow, G5 is either a great move or a terrible move. I don't know which one.
But he does recognize that White needs both of these defenders to hold. And so maybe he's trying to trick Rain, but Rain isn't tricked. In fact, he fires right back. What a move, G4.
Yeah, G4 is a great move. But the clock, look at the clock. 2 minutes for Sardoche. Like I said, Sardoche, the one issue, as I've pointed out, is that when he gets low on time, he can get nervous and bad things can happen.
Right.
So that's the one thing that's really going against him here in this game. So Rain is looking very good. Also, I would say that I felt like in the end game, now it was only Ludwig, mind you. It was only in the match against Ludwig, but Ludwig it felt like outplay. He outplayed Sardoche in the end game. So there is potentially hope there for Rain as well, that he has better opportunities as we get later into the game.
Well, I was going to ask you before G5 and G4 happen, because you're good at evaluating whose position is easier to play, and sometimes that's indicative, regardless of who's better. But I think we're seeing that White's position is just easier, and Sardoche is about to be under 2 minutes.
I think one thing I would say is I think in this case it's a double-edged sword. I think it's easier for like one side on their turn, basically. It feels like it can swing back and forth though in this game. Like the easy moves, like now if Sardoche takes and goes knight b4, the pressure's back on Rain.
Yeah, knight b4 is a great move. Setting
knight b4.
This would be highly problematic for White's position. My producer can't even keep up with you guys. You're going to get us to 50K. Splat with $500, Kessler with 250, Zid W with 300, Cocoa Butter $100, and Pincata with 120, and Sardoche with Knight to B4. This is big moment. This could be the game right here if Rain doesn't solve this problem correctly, Hikaru.
Absolutely, and I'm not surprised that Sardoche found it. It was a move that was sort of screaming to be played, and now for Rain, he has to find which rook square where to move his rook. Rook E2 is actually a great move, by the way. Fantastic move.
So Sardoche should look to take advantage of the A file here. Even something like Bishop B5 and offering the trade. That's one of the fastest ways to take advantage of disconnected pieces, but he plays Knight C2.
Is there Rook A4 here? Again, not so clear though, because Black can take and go Rook A2. It still is unclear.
My guess is Rain doesn't play Rook A4 anyway. Play something more straightforward like Rook C1.
Yeah, I think Rook C1 is probably the move that he'll play. I could see Rook A4. Wow. Okay.
But you said this is actually not as easy as it looks because of Rook A2.
Right, exactly. So it remains very much a game still. Now Sardoche here needs to not panic and just take the rook. And I think he will. I think he will take the rook here, but he has to find Rook A2. That's the critical move.
Yeah.
And will he find it?
Yeah, he plays it.
Okay, he takes the Rook C2, of course.
The biggest issue is still on the clock for Sardoche. I mean, obviously Rain playing well and Sardoche playing well, but the clock is the real problem.
Yeah. Well, but now it kind of goes the other way. I would say actually for Sardoche, it becomes a lot easier to play because he can't move the rook on E2. You got to keep it there to prevent the bishop from moving. So now you can focus on the other rook and just go for an idea with the other rook. So in a way, it's swung back the opposite direction. Where for Sardoche, the moves are a lot easier now.
Yeah, especially if he finds some plan to get the rook involved. Like if he sees Rook C8 and B6 or something to take advantage of the pin. What you said is really clear, and that's why Rain is thinking here. Although that's a good move. Rain recognizes he needs help. And he's going to bring the king in.
Yeah, so I mean, Rain is looking really, really good at this point. But we'll see.
What a move by Sardoche, trying to win the bishop, but Rain is going to be one square in time.
Yeah, King D3 is just in time here. Again, though, I don't think it's over though. I don't think it's quite that simple. Well, let's see what he plays. He plays Rook B4. Okay. Now, will Rain play Bishop C3 is also a big question mark.
Yeah, because if he doesn't, there's even like Rook B3 check stuff. So. Mateo with $500, DMACDC $200. We are almost at $48,000, which means we're almost at $150,000 total.
Wow. You know what I was going to say about Rain? One of the reasons that I thought that Sardoche was a favorite is because I felt like Rain has not played a complete game from start to finish. And it feels like this is the first game where
this might be his best game in
the
the event.
Yeah, where like he didn't get a big advantage out of the opening, but he's made steadily good moves, like playing this A3, B4, Knight D2, B3, playing G4, taking on G5, taking the bishop on A4. This feels like the first really complete game that Rain has played in the event. So,
yeah, agreed. Yeah, because some of the games he won early were partly in due to your opponent blunders, a rook on H8, or those sort of things. But this is definitely maybe his most complete game, and now he's got Sardoche nearing under a minute.
Exactly, yeah. Let's see what Sardoche does here. He takes on C2.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. Okay. But now King B3, and you can trap the rook and go bring your knight back.
Yeah, the biggest problem with Rook C4 is that, okay, Rain brings the rook. Sardoche needs to get the rook out of dodge ASAP. Rook A4.
Right.
Uh-oh. Okay, Rain misses King B3, which would have won the rook outright after Knight D2.
Right, agreed. Yeah, so this is... I mean, again, if Rain can find Knight B3, A5, he is winning here. If he doesn't find an idea to try to attack that pawn on B7 early, though, and Black can get the king to like G6 or G5, it starts getting tricky. And already I don't like F4, because now after King G6, Black can play H5 at some moment.
Yeah, wrong side of the board. Agreed. In fact, the worst move here for Rain would be a move like h4, allowing h5.
Right.
You're totally right. If Rain focuses on this side of the board, it's the wrong area, and if Black strikes with h5, this is still a wild finish.
Right. Agreed. So that's the other thing I would say is, so I would feel like more at the intermediate level or beginner level, if there's an open file, I think actually having a rook against the bishop and knight generally is preferable, because it's a lot easier to just use the one rook versus coordinating the bishop and the knight. And now
he sees it,
and now it gets spicy.
This is going to get super spicy. Sardoche might even end up, because at less experienced levels, everyone, even though the knight and bishop are objectively better, look at what's happening. Rain is not.
Wait, he didn't play. Wait, what? Whoa, what?
Yeah, they're both just missing g4. It's hanging. What are they doing?
What?
G4 is hanging on the board. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, what is going on here?
Oh man, and now he almost is losing the pieces.
I think Sardoche just panicked. I honestly think Sardoche just panicked there. He saw his clock was getting low and he just panicked.
Yeah. Wow, he just missed his winning opportunity. We didn't think we'd see eval bar swings like that, but now if Rain finds the plan of getting the knight in, then White should still be winning. But he's already missed it a few times, and in fact, here you go again. What I was trying to say, Akaro, is it's so much harder to coordinate the knight and bishop for less experienced players than it is to play with the rook, and we're seeing that here. Even though Rain's better, he's not coordinating the minors the way a master would, obviously.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, because you think about it, it's 2 for 1.
Yeah.
And now you don't take the bishop on e1. It's important, just like.
He blundered his rook. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
If Sardoche had taken the pawn or given check, he might have come back and won that game.
He panicked. It was like Sardoche. I think it's just too much in the way of nerves. He was defending for so long.
Yep.
That when he had the opportunity, he eventually cracked under the pressure of the situation. That's what it is.
Dude, I was just about to predict that Sardoche would give this check and that Rain would play knight e2 and Black would play king f3. I would thought that was going to happen.
But you know what else I was going to say, Danny? That's the second time Sardoche has done this where he's missed a backwards knight capture on h1. He also did this in his game against Nico in the first match of the group stage, where in that second game he was completely winning, and then he just hung a bishop on h1 where there's knight g3 takes h1. So it's not the first time he's done this.
Bishop d3 is a good move, because I was just about to say the last chance Sardoche has is to get a knight and bishop mate somehow. But I think bishop g3 will confirm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it happening here.
Yeah, not anymore.
Wow, he's
what
going to
a
get rid of
wild
one pawn,
here.
I think. I think he'll get rid of one pawn, but not both. And then just the one pawn is just one pawn too much.
There have been more than a dozen of you who've donated north of $100 that I haven't shouted out. Jungle Bird, I see the last one. So everyone who's donated, everyone, thank you so much. I think we're going to get our goals and do it with a game to spare.
Wow. Very tough for Sardoche. I mean, again, this is, I think what I would say is his big problem was he got way too low on time. And when he's gotten low on time, he sometimes feels too much pressure.
Right. We're not outside the realm of wild stalemates at this point. Rain still struggling to coordinate the knight and bishop, which is a normal thing. Coordinating the knight and bishop properly takes a lot of experience, but here Rain is probably overthinking it. Probably just needs to get the king involved.
Yeah, so king f4 and king e5, and white should be winning here. So I think the key here is that, king e5, and it's not stalemate. The king just gets in, and you take on e6 and d5 here.
One square left for Black. Sardoche, unlucky.
Yeah. So let's see. Just knight takes pawn. Very rough for Sardoche. I mean, like he really kept it together, but I think it was just the pressure of being worse on the board and the pressure of the clock as well, and it got to him. He couldn't keep it together past a certain point. And it was like right when he was back. It was right when it had turned around the blunder occurred. So I think it's just one of those things where I don't even know how you're supposed to look at it, because he's done this twice now with the backwards knight capture, but maybe there's just some way just double check and see. I don't know, see where your knight is or something. I'm not really sure how he can do it, but the fact that it's not the first time is a bad sign.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and he had gotten himself in a position where the rook was flexing on the knight and bishop, and Rain. You know, we talked about Sardoche missing the opportunity, but you know, Rain was going backwards with the pieces, and the knight and bishop were not doing what they were supposed to. So really unfortunate to see Sardoche miss the knight capture, and unless Rain pulls a stalemate here. Oh my God, when he played Queen D5 for a second, I thought he did.
Oh man, look at the Sardoche. Oh man. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, we all knew it was a good job yesterday. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, he's clapping, frustrated, but we still have another game to go, and I still believe our prediction of who the faster of the two is in terms of Sardoche is correct. So if the Frenchman can get a dub in game 2 and go to a tiebreaker, all bets are off. So don't go anywhere. It is the final regulation game of Pogchamps 3 presented by GRIP6 when we return.
For Sardoche, the Frenchman. They got to stop bringing in 1500s, bro. Oh, fuck. Oh, gee. Oh. You know, if that's cool with them too. Not to say that, like, I'm complaining because I was weaker. Just that, you know, it's more exciting when they blunder more, is all as I'm saying. It's just a little more when people blunder a lot. It can be thrilling. So, Chess.com, it seems like our time's coming to an end here. Let me tell you, it's been nice. It's been something I'll remember for a while. I'll cherish these moments we have, these 3 minutes at a time. These windows where I pretend I don't know you're coming, but I know every time. I plan all of my content, even down to the reactions. I'll watch the video, then react to it on stream, just so I have the timing down a little bit better. But although it's the end of Pogchamps, life will move on. Chess, a beautiful game that brought us together for this short few weeks of time. And it'll die. These moments we spent together, but the memories, they won't. El Duito, other moments, I can still only remember XQC losing in 6 moves. That wasn't even that Pog Champ. It was like literally a year and a half ago at this point, but still it was fun. And if there's one thing I want you guys to take away from this, if there's one thing that at the end of the day is the most important lesson to take away from all of Pogchamps, it's that every single month you'll have a Twitch Prime that becomes available. Look, hey, Ludwig back at it again. Click on the subscribe button, and if it says subscribe free, grip it and rip it. Hey, bitches, I'm taking 10 days off from streaming. Straight up, that's a fact, 10 days. All right, I'm gonna drop minimum like 15,000 subs, aka triple what Sardoche ever had in his fucking life. Sardoche, more like okay, I'm sorry. Actually, Sardoche, I hope you do bring it back. But yeah, so just double check, boys. Double check. Hey, grip it and rip it on your favorite chess creator. You know, the Botez sisters lost like $500, $600, $700 to me in chess yesterday. Give it to them, or fuck them and give it to me. I don't care. It's up to you guys. It's up to you guys. Just make sure to grip and rip it. I'm just, hey, I'm not here to give you any content anymore. I'm out of this tournament. Chess.com fucked me. They gave me black pieces first. I deserved white. This is my shill period. I don't gotta give content. We're over. Chess.com, professionally and romantically. I will say, I will be coming back to chess. Even though I'm on break, the only day I'm streaming is the what is it? Twitch Rivals event. Twitch Rivals event. I'm in it. With, let me tell you, a very secret GM. Okay? Let's just say the game of chess would be a lot different without him. Okay? Does that ring a bell? It would be very different indeed. I would even argue that we are a bit goated. End it. 0 seconds.
Introducing the GRIP6 belt, the only belt on the market with the no gut pinch guarantee. The GRIP6 is so light and thin that you'll barely even notice it's there. Its smooth, low-profile design makes this belt the most comfortable belt in the world. Overly confident much? You're damn right. Because on top of being the most comfortable belt in the universe, each GRIP6 belt comes with our A3 guarantee, meaning if you don't like any belt for any reason at any time or in any condition, you can just contact us and we'll give you a full refund.
And we are back with Pogchamps 3, presented by GRIP6, excuse me. Speaking of which, GRIP6 wants to thank everyone who watched Pogchamps, especially those that signed up for the giveaway. Did it, you're awesome, and you still have a chance to do it, but it's your last chance. Go to go.chess.com/GRIP6 and use code POGCHAMPS20 for 20% off belts, wallets, wool socks. Be sure to get their last chess belts and wallets remaining before they're gone because they won't be back. Not kidding. Go do it. Here we go. All right. Hikaru, it's win or go home for Sardoche. We know the French faithful will be cheering him on. Rain taking a sip of something that's not sponsored, and we're going to move forward.
Yeah, so I think, you know, the one thing I would say about Rain is his openings with black have been very shaky against e4. So I'm very curious to see if Sardoche is going to switch it up and play e4 here on move 1, because, for example, his game, he had a game, I think, in the group stage that was a little bit shaky, and then he was completely busted in that game against Charlie in their second game in the modern. But Sardoche actually just plays d4 and bishop f4, which I'm kind of surprised to see. Considering the situation, like I kind of would have thought that maybe his coach, like Kevin Bordy, would have been like, okay, if you lose the first game with White. I'm sorry.
What?
Isn't Sardoche higher rated?
Yeah.
Shouldn't the higher rated player have been White in the first game?
I don't think in the regular one. I think it's in the tiebreak. What? Oh, it's not based on rating.
Oh, it's not based on. Oh, okay. It's not based on rating. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. I was just like we said. I was just like, wait a second. He's 1446.
No, you gave me a Ludwig panic attack. I know you're watching Ludwig. Go get a life, Ludwig. Stop watching Chess.com.
Yeah. Sorry. I was just like, it just took me a second. Like, wait a second. Something seems wrong about this. But okay. All right. Anyway, what I was going
to complete your sense, I agree with you. I'm surprised he didn't play e4.
Because again, I feel like one thing that's really important is when you think the players are evenly matched in a must-win game. I think based on Rain playing d6 every game, if Sardoche had played d4 and e4, he could have gotten a very good position with the same kind of opening setup or something very similar to what Charlie did against Rain, as opposed to just sticking to a system. And it is the final match, so it kind of is one of those things where you should go all in. So it's kind of interesting that he didn't switch it up, but it is understandable because again, you don't really know how the first game will go. But I think you should have multiple options, especially the final game of the champions bracket.
Agreed. Rain has played this. You know, there's no way he was going to vary up. But just to complete the circle of my full disclosure, what we looked at, the only thing Rain and I really looked at was to make sure he wasn't going to get crushed by the Grob. I showed him what to do against the Grob, and that was it. Otherwise, I was like, otherwise you got to play your modern. And I reminded him, don't fall for the same trap you did against Charlie. But other than that, it was like, hey man, do your thing. And Rain's approach in general, double fee and keto, sometimes that can get him in trouble. But Rain's approach in general is he just kind of wants to get to the middle game. He's not into the opening stuff, so that's why most of my opening advice is how not to lose.
Is he going to play the hippopotamus here?
But,
is he going to play the hippopotamus with e6 and 97, 97?
Oh, wow. This is the thing Rain loves, but this could get him in big trouble. And I think this might have been what Kevin was coaching Sardoche on. Like, look, if he gives you the center, take it and don't apologize.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, pretty balanced position. White has much more space in the center of the board. It's very hard to play here for both sides, I feel like, because neither side really has a clear break. Black can't play e5 like Black normally does. F5 is probably too dubious because of knight g5. So it's going to be interesting to see how Rain reacts here. It's also going to be really important that Sardoche keeps it together, though. He's really got to stay focused. And I think not fall too far behind on the clock. Because I think the clock is really what hurt him the most in the first game.
Yep. plays knight c6, which is a struggle. I think one of the things Rain is worried about is this idea of bishop h6 with h4, h5. It, understandably so. It's certainly an idea. So my guess is the reason he played knight c6 is because he's about to play queen d7 and try to castle long, if I'm just reading into Rain's brain.
Although isn't e5 kind of strong here for black?
Yeah, e5 would be great.
Yeah, queen e3 was not a great move by Sardoche. Yeah, but clearly we know who the coaches are.
Yeah. Well, I just knew because Rain really hates this idea, and the moment it was set up and he played knight c6, I was just reading it that Rain has made up his mind that this is his plan. He's probably not even looking for e5. But I am looking for donos. Blunder Wonder 251 and Float Along with his second $200 donation. Thank you, everyone.
Right, now Sardoche needs to be careful that if Rain castles queenside, he does not play b4 and blunder e5. This is actually very important here.
Yeah, because Rain will find it then.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, I think Rain is not looking for it.
In fact, I almost wonder if he won't find it here.
But he's slowing down, so maybe you're right. Maybe he's pausing, but I think if e5 happens, you're right. Then Sardoche will really regret what he did here.
Right. Yeah, this is, I mean, it's hanging on an edge already very early in the second game. So let's see what is he gonna do?
Okay, well, I got to give a shout out because we did it. I mean, Resonate $500, Jay Sutz $200. We're about to cross 50,000, which again we doubled it this morning. Chess.com doubled its match to make sure we would give away all 100K, which means we have given away $150,000, and maybe we'll keep going.
Awesome. Okay, so the moment of truth. Will Sardoche play b4 or not? Because the e5 is a huge problem here. Now it's actually game over. Black gets e5 in, it's game over. So Sardoche needs to move the bishop away.
Let's show the tactics. So he played it. What Hikaru's pointing out is that you can't even take the pawn on e5 because now not only is this bishop hanging, but because Rain is castled, this bishop is hanging. So e5 isn't just a positional break. As Hikaru's saying, it's a tactical nightmare for white because of this idea.
Will he do it? I think he will.
Well, I think now you've kind of forced his hand, right? Because he's already got castled, and so unfortunately for Sardoche, and you can't even deny the trade because if you move the bishop first, then we take.
Right. Yeah, and there's also knight takes d4 with e5, which is also very good.
Oh yeah. No, but Rain misses it.
Oh.
I think he's thinking the way Sardoche is. Sardoche is thinking, I got to checkmate black. And Rain's like, well, I'm going to have to put my pieces over here and checkmate white. And obviously both sides are just neglecting how problematic the dark squares are right now with this.
Yeah, no, it's very true. If I'm Sardoche, you got to move the bishop here. You got to go bishop g3 or bishop h6.
Yeah.
You can also play b5 here, but it's really important that Sardoche moves that bishop. Really, really important. I mean, he can also go b5 here as well, but the one thing I would say, though, is it's such a non-standard position, and the fact that it's not, okay, b5 I like. Now, will Rain go knight a5 or not is also a big question. Because if he doesn't go to a5...
Could he get away with this? I mean, he can, but I don't think he'll see it now if he's already missed it a few times.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So he does play knight a5. Yep.
Good move, because otherwise white gets a pawn avalanche with a4, a5, whereas now white pushes the pawn to a4, the knight's just stopping it from going further up the board.
Yeah. Inadvertently kind of critical, even though black, meaning Rain, missed e5 for many moves, it's still a really good position here for the knight.
Right, so I mean, I think, okay, e5, not the best move, but not a bad move either. Not a bad move. I think if Rain finds knight f5, he's doing very well. Knight f5 is not a logical move here at all, though. So I really do in a way like e5, because it also gives a much sort of, there's a lot less of an opportunity for black to find a clear-cut idea to be much better or outright winning here. And so if Rain doesn't see knight f5, I think is the only move that's really good here. Everything else, and I think, I don't like f5 at all.
Yeah, that's a...
Although, I mean, h6 and g5 is very scary here.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, this is Rain following through with his plan, but yeah, knight f5 was definitely the move. The one thing we'll say about f5 that's good, in addition to h6 and g5, Hikaru, is that it also overprotects this square, which is kind of key, right? Because that was probably Sardoche's next idea, was a move like knight e4.
Right. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so I think here I mean, Sardoche should castle and try to play c5. But the good thing for Sardoche is that this will be a decisive game. This is not a slow game. It's very, very sharp. Both kings are going to end up on opposite sides, and it's, you know, all in for Sardoche here with castles and then all in.
Yeah, kings on opposite sides of the board in a must-win game is pretty much what you can ask for, right? At least both sides, at least you'll have that chance.
Yeah, so he's got a castle here.
Yeah, castle, even if you're putting a rook on c1 that allows a fork, it doesn't matter. You've got to find a way to blow open the c file against the black king.
Right, and c5 here doesn't work. It's important because then black just takes and your knight on c3 is not protected once you recapture. So that's why rook c1 is so strong.
So he plays rook d1.
Okay. It's not a bad move either, by the way. I think rook d1 is also a playable move. Now, the question for Rain... The question for Rain is, will he play h6, go for g5, or will he... If he doesn't find that plan, it's very hard to play here. It's probably losing if you don't see h6, g5. So let's see what Rain does, because this is a very critical moment. I like that Sardoche has stayed even on the clock. Very, very important. I think probably in between games he spoke to Kevin, is my guess, and probably Kevin told him, like, you can't fall way behind on the clock.
You got to speed up, indeed. And knight a4, if he finds knight a4 to go with rook d1 to remove that knight, then c5 is going to be super scary to stop. So I agree with you. This is critical for Rain, whether he finds the right plan.
Yeah, I think h6, g5 is almost the only plan that I see that makes sense here. You can maybe go king b8 and king a8. Again, looks very dubious. But other than king b8, I mean, and h6, he goes knight b3. Strange idea. I mean, because the problem is if white castles, it's still, you're not actually going to win the pawn on d4, because takes queen f3, knight d4, and you run into the logic trick with queen a8 check. Here it's not checkmate. Now, again, I'm sure Ludwig has very fond memories of that game. We all know that Ludwig's watching. But yeah, if you castle take and then take that pawn on d4, there's queen a8 at the end. And it's
that would be a huge mistake from Rain. If he played knight b3 with the idea of giving up this bishop, and in fact, even here, now that the queen defends the knight, maybe he played it with some idea of knight c5, which would have been crazy skeptical, but possible. But yeah, I was going to say no. He needs to just go right back to a5 and call a mulligan. By the way, we're calling it. We've also officially crossed 50,000. Before I was a little early, but we are crushing it, and way to go, community. Thank you so much.
Also, you know, the funny thing is Sardoche is panicking and losing his mind here, thinking he blundered, but it's actually a great blunder.
Yeah.
Because it opens the c file. Now he doesn't have to push the pawn. If he goes queen e2 here, I think queen e2 and white's probably winning.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll find it, but the thing is, the rook just scoots over to c1, and there's massive pressure on the file. There's also rook to e1 at some point to put pressure on the e6 pawn. So he blundered a pawn, but if he keeps his wit about him and just goes very quietly queen to e2, he's doing extremely well.
But we had this. What was the match we had with where the knight and rook were blundered, but then the c file? Oh, I was commenting with Anna with Rubius, and there was the c file, right? And you're right. This is a pawn that, while it looks good, could end up being a disaster for Rain.
Exactly. I mean, again, I think for Sardoche plays queen e2, great move. As long as Sardoche keeps it together here and he doesn't panic and freak out too much, he still has a very good chance to win this game.
Yeah, the risk of d5. Rain might play d5, but the risk is then the dark squares are problematic, and you've got new problems.
Also, you lock in your bishop on b7 if you play d5.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sardoche just needs to take a deep, deep breath and relax. Now bishop d3 is very good. Will he see bishop d3 or will he go bishop b3? Actually, both look good to me.
Well, both. I mean, bishop b3 threatens bishop takes. Bishop d3 officially traps the knight. Even rook a1, as bad as that is compared to the other two, Hikaru, knight c2, queen c2, you've got a7 as a target. This is... I'm with you that even though the eval bar, or actually eval bar also likes white, the point is this is a game that is going to be very hard for black, especially in rapid.
Yeah, agreed.
In fact,
and now, yeah, now it's time. Rain has to play knight d5, only move here, to not be losing on the spot. You know what this game reminds me of, Danny? This reminds me a lot of the game between Pokemon and Rubius. Where
that was the game. Yeah, that was the game.
Pokemon had bishop on f4, and she got like a rook on c1, and there was a ton of pressure because the king was on c8, and there was that diagonal towards b8. So that's what this game reminds me a lot of.
Yep. Got to Annoyed with 250, and again we are at 50,400. Awesome possum. I don't know what Rain's going to do.
Not...
Oh, okay, he finds knight d5, which is probably the best way to defend e6, right? To be fair.
Again, I think Sardoche is very much in the game. He just needs to stay calm and look for tactics too. Like Sardoche, as I've said before, he's done a lot of puzzles. I think he has like a tactics rating of about 2,000.
Oh, wow.
But based on that, he just needs to stay focused and keep looking for puzzles here. Looking for the puzzle solution, I should say.
2,000 puzzles is legit.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, it's easier when you do puzzle. I mean, that's one of the things about chess that's really rough is when you do the puzzle and you know there's some kind of solution, a sequence of a couple of moves that's really, really good, it becomes a lot easier to see versus in real time when you're playing a game and you're not being told, well, there's a sequence of moves that's winning the game. That applies at all levels. Actually, it's not just something that applies at the absolute top. It's one of those things at all levels. People make those mistakes.
Takes with the bishop, which I guess is the one way this could backfire for Sardoche is if somehow he keeps trading and doesn't do what you want. If you're a Sardoche fan, you want both. In fact, even that move, it's kind of a wasted check. Maybe you want these rooks on these two squares here.
Again, it's anyone's game, though. I feel like like the weakness of the black king here gives Sardoche good chances, regardless. Even though objectively it was a bad move. He's got rook c6. He's got rook c6.
Okay, rook c6, huge move.
Rook c6. Will he
it
find
also
it?
cuts
Rook
off the queen
C6
from b5, by the way, which is officially a threat for black.
Yeah, rook c6 is a huge move. Will he find it? If he finds rook c6, I think he's going to win this game.
What a move.
And now the only move for Rain is knight c4 to guard the pawn, but then knight d2 removes the knight. I think Sardoche is going to win the game now.
Yeah.
I think it's very likely he wins.
And the thing we'll applaud, too, is that he got this position with time on the clock. In the last game, if you missed it, everyone, it was the opposite. Rain had more than 6 minutes when Sardoche was down to 2. So this is a great turnaround for the French faithful.
Right. Now, will he find knight d2 is the question. I think he will, because now I think he can tunnel on the pawn on d6 and try to remove that knight, which defends the pawn. I would actually be very surprised if Sardoche does not find knight d2 here.
Agreed. Knight d2 is the move, and it is removal of the defender kind of stuff. He's 2,000 on Tactics Trainer. I think he'll find it. Even if he doesn't find it the next move with a move like rook a1, or I mean, you don't want to miss it. But I think that he will see this idea, and it's hard for Rain to defend this pawn in one move anyway.
Right, agree. Well, the thing is, if Rain gets a move and can go rook c8, all the pressure on the pawn vanishes in one move. So that's why it's super critical for Sardoche to play knight d2 here. And the reason that I think he'll play it is because there are no other moves that really make sense. You can't move your rook on c6. Your bishop on f4 is perfectly placed towards the pawn. If you move your rook to e1, black just plays rook e8. So it doesn't feel like there are any other pieces really you can focus on. Maybe you can look at the queen and try to move the queen, but it's just when you look at the placement, you know you can't move the rook or the bishop, and you can tell that pawn is really weak if you move the knight. Right. So I think if you focus on and think about every single piece on the board, you should be able to find the knight move.
Yeah. And again, great breakdown of the thought process, which I think, in a lot of these Pogchamps you do a good job of. And okay, he does unfortunately fall short, but it was
not a bad move though. There's still
because it also it's the same idea. It threatens rook takes c4.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. And I think Rain probably, we'll see what he does here, but I think it's very tricky. Very, very tricky position.
We've got more than 30,000 live viewers watching on YouTube. Shout out to you guys over there. We don't reach that very often. And 76,000 of you on Twitch and many others across other platforms.
Take. This is it. Will Sardoche play rook takes? He does.
Nice.
I think
we're headed to overtime.
Oh, what is that? Oh, no. What is that by Rain?
Yeah.
Oh, well, now Rain just loses. Rook takes rook, and you just... and now you resign,
down a
as
piece.
Mr. Scheibel would say. Now you just resign. So
but this was super tough for It was super tough for Rain because of how Sardoche played it. I mean, honestly, he kept the pressure. Rook C1 wasn't as good as Knight D2, but in hindsight, the idea was just as strong, and he's going to take this.
Wow. Yeah, you know, I was gonna say that a lot of credit goes to Sardoche. He kept it together. Like you could tell, he was really frustrated when he hung that pawn on c4. There were a lot of movements and gesticulations and all those other things, but he kept it together and he didn't completely lose it. And he still made moves, logical moves. Didn't spend too much time. And he's gonna win this game now, I think.
Well, and we called it then. We said that's going to be a pawn that he's happy is gone. Look at the C file; it's winning him the game.
And the other thing is Rain's so passive. There are no back rank checkmates. There's nothing you can do on the queen side. Just the texture of the pawn, the rook, and the bishop. All of White's pieces are very harmonious here relative to Black's pieces. So I do think Sardoche is going to win this game.
Yeah, it would be very hard to mess up. I don't even know how Rain activates here. I mean, I guess you can play bishop e7, but if knight f7 comes in, the pawn falls anyway. So
yeah, it's looking great. I think
People
we're
are calling
headed
this the
to
Shrew Gambit,
Blitz.
Hikaru. The Shrew Gambit.
I mean, there are a lot of gambits that have been invented on Twitch, so why not?
Yeah, did White Shrew play chess in the office? I don't know. There was probably an episode with chess. Who knows?
And will he go rook d6 now?
Yeah.
I guess rook d6, queen c7, rook d8 is not so obvious to spot.
Yeah,
but I guess you can take and also play rook b6. There are multiple solutions if Sardoche sees rook takes pawn.
Yeah, rook d6, queen c7, rook d8, everyone, as Hikaru said, wins the queen. But if you don't play rook d8 and you play some other random move, turns around because you can lose your own f4 bishop.
Right. But the thing is, you can also play rook takes b6 check as well. So the fact there are multiple solutions gives him more room if he takes pawn with the rook to find it. Whereas if there's only one solution, it can be, I mean, you're really hanging on pins and needles as far as whether they'll find the move. But in a situation like this where there are multiple solutions after rook takes pawn, I do think he'll win. But look at Sardoche; he is actually kind of panicking again. He's not playing rook takes pawn. He's using a lot of time here.
Yep.
So let's see, will he find it or not? This is the big question.
Minute 30. Time is ticking.
Yeah. I mean, if he gets under a buck, I mean, it could get really tricky.
We're listening in to the nervous Frenchman right now.
Yeah, as I said, nerves. Nerves are what matter. If he keeps the nerves and just takes that pawn with the rook, he's gonna win the game.
Je ramène le non mais je fais échec et je ramène le cavalier là et j'ignore complètement ce qu'il fait en fait. Il peut pas prendre de pièces.
Takes with the bishop, I don't like that. Okay, now rook c7 though. Now rook c7, he should find rook c7.
Yep. Yeah, rook c7 he'll find. Rain needed to play king a8 to keep it confusing.
Right.
Je gagne la dame. Là, je gagne la dame ici. Qu'est-ce qu'il peut faire? Qu'est-ce qu'il peut faire contre ça?
He's gotta go.
Il est en échec.
He plays it.
Mais attends, mais...
He does.
Take. Now queen e5. If he sees queen e5, yep, and that's all she wrote.
Échec.
Very nice finish.
Je gagne la tour.
Got nervous there for like a second. I mean, if Rain had gone king e8, I don't know what would have happened.
Yep.
But yeah, he's gonna win now, especially because as I said before, it's a bishop.
Pas de blunder, pas de blunder, pas de blunder. Putain.
Yeah.
I don't think he's speaking English or French. He's speaking.
J'ai la main qui tremble, putain, j'ai la main qui tremble.
Yeah, the good thing is that it's a bishop. It's a bishop, so a bishop can only attack on, you know, the dark colored tiles, and therefore there's no chance of Sardoche not winning here. It's like 99.99% guaranteed he will win. So we're gonna head to Blitz.
Gonna be Blitz overtime, where I think Sardoche has to be the favorite. I believe there it does matter who gets white, and I believe Sardoche will get white. I think it is decided by rating, but we'll confirm that. So,
wow. Yeah, there's just no way, because as I've noticed, if you get a bishop, that's the one endgame where your tricks, even in the consolation bracket, if you end up with like a rook against a bishop, the bishop just does not attack. You can only attack on one color of squares, so it's not you can't create threats with a bishop. So there's just no way that Sardoche doesn't win.
as Sardoche cleans this up, I'll clean up what was a discussion for the community. Just so you know, the donations were coming in so fast that the animation fell behind the bar. So just so you know, a lot of the donations flashing now that we already shot out, and I gave a shout out to before. You were not being ignored. Just you guys got way ahead of the animation. So so it took a while to catch up. But again, thank you to everyone, and I think we're gonna have overtime. So
En passant, right on cue. There's en passant, and then checkmate, the Wally checkmate on B7. Yep.
But the bar is accurate in real time. Just so you know, the bar is accurate for donations. Just like it takes a Frenchman to not miss en passant.
Right, of course.
Allez, on est encore dedans. Allez, superbe. Superbe. Allez, on joue la blitz, let's go. Je suis trop fier de cette game. Peu importe ce qui se passe dans le tournoi, je suis trop fier de cette game.
What he said. Sacre bleu, we're headed to overtime. It's Armageddon on Pogchamps 3 presented by GRIP6 style. Hikaru and I will be right back. It's Armageddon on Pogchamps 3 presented by GRIP6
Brashna,
style.
thank you for the 10
Hikaru
gifted
and I will
subs.
be right back.
We are heading to a tiebreaker. Yes. Oh, Brashna, thank you for the 10 gifted. Oh, I'm gonna go somewhere else so that is not streamception. Hello, everybody. I've been watching, obviously, the main clash for Pogchamps 3 between Rain Wilson and Sardoche. What a comeback by Sardoche! This whole game was so fascinating. Starting out, let's do a bit of recap because this position, it looks like White is doing fine with the connect 4 and this attack, but Rain missed his chance that he could have played e5. Hikaru and Danny pointed this out on the coverage coming from side. I think you know it, but just a reminder that this was a beautiful tactical motive because after e5, the bishop is hanging and you're threatening to take here. If the bishop moves, you capture the pawn with a pawn, and that's a fork. The queen is hanging, the knight is hanging, you're winning one of those pieces. And if White doesn't want to allow this and tries to take this pawn, you take back with the pawn. And now, ta-da! What happens after the capture? The pawn is now on e5, opening up the d5, meaning that now 2 bishops are hanging. The f4 bishop is hanging because of the pawn, and the d3 bishop is hanging because the queen and the rook of Rain are on the d file. We can also show it from this perspective. I don't know if that helps or not. Thank you so much, by the way, for the new subscriptions. Thank you everyone for being so supportive. Today you have been very generous when it comes to the charity goal on the broadcast and also subscribing here. Ludwig was giving a beautiful prime speech, and then people started subscribing on my channel. Thank you so much. You really shouldn't have. Thunder, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Thanks a lot to everybody. You're way too kind. Let me show the tactical motive from this perspective, from Rain's perspective. This is how it looked. e5 is an extremely strong move because of the aforementioned reasons. Bishop and pawn hanging. Bishop moves, you take it. Pawn fork, pawn takes, both bishops are hanging. He was gonna win a piece. There's not a single move here that saves the piece for White. Another important hint that you should aim for something in the center in a position like this is because White's king is still in the middle of the board. If your opponent hasn't castled, that's a huge hint that you need to open up the center. You need to try to open up these central files because you want to gain access to that king and make him pay for not castling. Make that king pay for not castling. So this was an opportunity for Rain that he missed. The pawn being pushed to e5 would have basically won the game in a way, because a piece up on this level after winning the first game, it would have been very tough for Sardoche to try to make a comeback from a piece down in a must-win situation. Thank you so much, Ezra's Monkey, with the 5 gifted subs. So many of you are subscribing. Master with the prime, a flying egg with the prime, the fancy jester with the prime, asteroid with the prime, Spinzo with the prime, Puffy Panda with the prime, Gakshi with the 20 gifted subs. Jesus Christ, it's not my birthday. I'm just a tiny chess creator, former chess player, current time broadcaster and streamer. For Pogchamps, I've been one of the coaches. I haven't coached Mr. Rain Wilson, nor I have worked with Sardoche, but I have coached the girl squad. I've been working with the 4 female participants of Pogchamps 3, as well as the honorary member of the girl squad, that is Rubius, because I was then assigned to Rubius honorary member of the girl squad, but Pokimane, Michelle Carré, Nico, and Code Miko have been the participants I have had lessons with, and I'm freaking proud of each and every one of them. They may not have made it to the championship bracket finals, but Michelle and Nico were the clash in the consolation bracket. So two ladies, two of the girl squad members made it to the finals in the consolation bracket, and I'm really proud of them. Also, many of these participants might be back for Pogchamps 4. For instance, Rubius wants a rematch against XQC. Wouldn't that...
And as we get set for the final game, remind everybody of how we got here in the championship bracket. Sardoche, he took down huge fan favorite, the only guy who's played in all 3 Pogchamps, XQC. Then, you know, someone who has just as big of a fan base here, especially in regards to his commitment to chess. You got Ludwig, he took him down. On the other side, you had Rain squeaking by Charlie, another guy who played in the first Pogchamps, and then Benji Fishy, the only guy who beat Sardoche. But it all comes down to this. It's a tiebreaker, not Armageddon style, but 5-0 Blitz style between these two guys for winner take all, Hikaru.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be very, very exciting. I think the slight favorite is Sardoche based on what we saw in his game against Ludwig, where he made some fantastic moves, really trusts himself in that final Blitz game that they played. So I think Sardoche has a very slight edge based on that. But again, I think mostly it comes down to the nerves and who's able to make moves and not panic and use too much time at critical moments.
And we'll see if either side mixes it up a little bit, right? We had that B3 Sicilian that ended up being okay for Rain, but it wasn't a great start. It'll be interesting to see what they do, okay? I think Sardoche is probably going to go right back to it with some kind of improvement from Kevin, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. All right, so here we go. Now, once again, this is 5-0, so it's and the other thing I would say is I suspect that that Sardoche has not played much Blitz because his rating is 1004, whereas Rain is 1385. But then again, Rain is 1385. Is that based on a significant amount of games, or just like 1 or 2 is also?
It's only based on 1 or 2. In his main account, he's about 1150. So
okay.
He's know what that's based on? It's based on basically whatever Armageddon games he's had here in this event, which he's won every tiebreaker.
Right, that's true. Yep. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so Bishop E2. Will Sardoche go D4 is a big question mark too.
Yeah, D4 is a strong move. Or I think it's at least an irritating one.
Bishop E7. Right. Yeah, Bishop E7, completely reasonable so far. I will say, I think this opening, it's a little bit favorable to Black because I feel like White's ideas are not so obvious here. If White doesn't play D4 and force open this diagonal, like if White goes D3, I think Black's moves are a little bit easier with like Rook E8 and Bishop F8.
Yeah, Rook E8, Bishop F8. Black's moves are coming easier. Now you already see Rain regretting the kind of passive development there. But I'd say overall, the earliest sign for the Sardoche fans is what we're seeing on the clock, which is kind of what we predicted. If it came down to a tiebreaker, Sardoche has been the faster player.
Yeah, so I think certainly, Rook E8, good move by Sardoche. Really for Rain, it hinges around whether he pushes his pawn to D4 at some point. If he does not push his pawn to D4, or he doesn't see the idea quickly here, especially, it's going to be very hard to play. Also, when you look at the clock situation too, this is getting pretty dicey already for Rain. Down a minute on the clock.
Well, especially given there's no increment, so there's no help coming.
Right.
This is a Wild West style affair, especially when you were just playing a bunch of increment. It's hard to make that adjustment. But at the same time, both of these guys have had tiebreakers, and for Sardoche, it took a tiebreaker to get here. So we know that they know what's in store.
Right. So now will Rain finally play D4? The last moment that he can play D4. Will he do it? Will he do it? If he doesn't, Sardoche goes D4 and you open up the long diagonal and you excavate the knight on F3 and the pawn on G2.
Yeah, this
so he does go D4. Good move.
Now 95 is an interesting idea. But again, I think it's all coming down to the clock. I think Sardoche he's going to win this game because of time. Rain has got to speed up.
Way too early, though, to say that. It's still 2:46. I would say if Rain gets under 1 minute on the clock and Sardoche has more than 2 minutes, I think I mean, the odds of Sardoche winning go up to like 80, 90%, but I think Reign still has 2 minutes and 40 seconds. That is still a lot of time.
Yeah. No, that's true. And they're both good enough if they get a huge advantage to probably convert, even with limited time on the clock.
I would say yes. If someone is up a queen and they have probably more than 10 seconds, maybe I would say 15 to be conservative. 15 seconds, they'll probably be able to win the game. So the margin I would say is you need to get that winning position, the clearly winning position, with more than 30 seconds on the clock. I think if you have 30 seconds or less, there's too much panic involved and anything can happen. But until then, okay, now there's knight e4, which is winning.
Yeah,
knight e4 is winning for black. And it's a very natural move. Will he see it? Okay, queen c7, not the best move, but a reasonable move nonetheless.
Knight e5 has been on the board for a while for Reign, but he hasn't seen it yet. Now it's more critical than ever.
Yeah, if Reign doesn't play knight e5 here, I think he's probably going to lose. Okay, he does.
But he's had two moments like that where he had to find
flames,
d4, had to find knight e5, and he found them both times. But again, 2 minutes on the clock.
Good
Great
move by
from
Sardoche. Yeah, I mean, I think for Reign, this is really hard to play because the bishop on b2 is bad. Black has the obvious lever with f6 to remove that knight from e5. And the queen and bishop also are on c7 and d6, which are lined up very neatly here.
Yeah.
So I want to see if Sardoche finds f6 here, which is a very good move.
F6 or even c3 first are both really good, but I think f6 is just kind of, I don't want to say obvious, but when you just move the knight, it's got to be on his agenda, and indeed Sardoche finds it. This guy has just gotten so good over this last month, and he's playing this blitz game like a boss.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like when Sardoche doesn't have time to think, when he doesn't let his mind start to mess with his confidence, and he just plays free flowing chess. He plays a lot better, and I think that's actually true of a lot of people. The less time they have to think and start being insecure and worrying about this or that, the better they play. When they just can't think, it's just like they just move. You just play the game. You don't let your brain disturb you and mess up everything.
Well, now Reign is really getting down on the clock, and this is probably going to be the story. Not even just because of the clock, but he's also much worse on the board. So it would take a blunder by Sardoche probably to give Reign chances.
Yeah, c3 here is very strong, I think. c3 and knight g5, but knight d5. Oh no, he blundered.
Oh, wow. Does Reign see it? Knight d5.
Reign is getting low on time. 1 minute on the clock.
He found it.
Oh,
this is his last chance. It's going to come down to the wire.
But now King.
Oh, he put 92 made one. Oh my god! Oh no! Oh! Let's go! Yes! Yeah! Oh man!
Well, if he went King h1, I think he would have. I mean, he would have had good chances to win because the whole position.
Oh my god! He had come all the way back.
Great mate. Wow.
C'est incroyable, on va te foutre cavalier, mais ça n'existe pas! Qu'est-ce que c'était que ça, putain? Ah, c'est pas possible! C'est pas possible! C'est pas possible, c'est absolument fou! Qu'est-ce que c'est que cette game? Qu'est-ce qui vient de se passer? Qu'est-ce que j'ai eu comme éclair de génie? Ah, oh putain!
Stream right now.
That was brutal. What a crazy... You don't have finishes like that, Hikaru. King f1 right after being worse all game. He gets his first chance with knight takes d5. Is probably winning if he finds king h1, but instead blunders checkmate in one move.
Wow, that's insane. Yeah, that's crazy because you're right. Reign was worse the whole game, and I think he had enough time that he probably would have won the game if he went king h1. He was still over a minute and everything collapses. The knight is weak. The bishop is weak. All of black's pieces are completely discombobulated. Nothing is coordinating at all. So I think Reign would have won if he went king h1, but he goes king f1 and blunders the amazing knight d2 checkmate. And wow, what a finish for Sardoche.
Wow. And it was a storybook finish for the French streamer who showed up, worked hard, went full Hafu if we're talking Pogchamps meme lore as far as what she did in Pogchamps 2, but Sardoche puts together an event for the ages, Hikaru, and comes all the way to the final to take Pogchamps 3 and the belt by GRIP6 home.
Exactly.
So Oh my God, we're going to have interviews with both these guys. What a wild finish to this amazing 2 weeks. Don't go anywhere, everyone. Sardoche and Rain Wilson join me and Hikaru, and we'll be right back. Amazing 2 weeks. Don't go anywhere, everyone. Sardoche and Rain Wilson join me and Hikaru, and we'll be right back.
What a clutch game this has been. What a clutch win. Oh, it's also, I'm just gonna mute this because I'm listening then to myself. Hello everybody, what a game this has been. Sudden death tiebreaker, sudden death blitz game. And this final moment, it happened so quick. So let's just slow-mo. Let's slow-mo why this is so big. First of all, Sardoche blundered. He blunders it after queen c7, the pawn is hanging. Rain finds it with 1 minute on the clock. So now the queen is hanging, the knight is hanging, white is doing very well here. Sardoche gives a check to mess things up, and he did mess things up really badly for Rain because Rain has 2 squares for the king. 2 squares, one is winning, the other is losing. Chess can be very cruel sometimes. If he had moved the king to the corner, this queen is still hanging, the knight is still hanging, and this bishop could get trapped too. So basically, black is in a lost position. He instead, unfortunately, instinctively goes the other way and then steps into this knight fork, but more than the queen that's gonna be gone, it's checkmate. What a beautiful checkmate, spectacular position. The knight delivering checkmate, the bishop taking away the g1 square, the rook is guarding the entire e5, the king has nowhere to go. This was the end of the tiebreaker. Sardoche taking home the victory. Pogchamps 3 winner. I think even if Rain had chosen this square, to be fair with the time situation, having only 1 minute left on the clock with no increment, this would have been still quite a difficult job to win. Sardoche had 3 minutes versus 1. So I think even if Rain haven't made that blunder, that final blunder, king f1, yes, white's position is winning, but would he have had the time to actually win him? Because Sardoche would have kept playing, obviously, and he has been playing really fast this blitz game. So I think even though objectively this position is winning and white should be winning material right now in this game, for instance, if queen to d6, you can take this knight on e4 because your knight is safe. Because now, look at this. Bing, bang, boom. The queen is gone. This is one of the many tactical patterns here. This position is crazy sharp, but it suddenly would have been falling apart from black's perspective. You cannot touch this knight. If you take the rook, the queen is now guarding the knight. And again, this bishop is safe on h2 either because white could be threatening to block it, to try to trap it on h2. Would have been crazy, right? But instead we have this checkmate. What a match. What a match. Rain winning the first rapid game, then Sardoche with a must win in the second game. And overall, this clutch win in the final blitz game. I can't wait for the interview. It's still us though, so I'm not gonna go back to the official coverage because it's still us. My name is Anna. If you haven't met me, I've been one of the coaches for Pogchamps as well. I've been working with the girl squad. Thank you so much, Bottom, for the diamond membership. I really appreciate you're using my creator code. I was just summing up that if you guys haven't seen me, I have been one of the coaches for Pogchamps. I haven't worked with Sardoche or Rain, but I have worked with the ladies. I've been the coach of the girl squad. If we take a look at the entire field, these beautiful pictures, I've been working with Pokimane, with Michelle Carré, with Nico, and with Code Miko, the 4 female participants, and the honorary member of the girl squad, Rubius. I've had 5 students in the field, and I'm so proud of each and every one of them for their own personal journeys, their own personal growth. Some of them had experience prior, like Nico, who was one of the first to play chess on Twitch. Before it was cool to play chess, she already was streaming chess on her channel, while others have only recently picked up chess. Thanks to the Queen's Gambit too, thanks to the game of XQC, the 6-move checkmate that Mr. Beast was referencing. Speaking of which, let me go to the clips and show you. There's so many cool clips from this event. If you don't know how to find absolute treasure, you go to Chess.com, you click on videos, and then you go down to the clips part, popular clips. Do you remember this one, for instance? Do you remember this moment?
I saw that clip on YouTube where you checkmated HQC or whatever. Second one, because I saw that clip on YouTube where you checkmated HQC or whatever.
Yeah, we don't even remember his name. It was so brutal.
But and so now
Just you can relive some of the most hilarious.
And we are back with Rainn Wilson and Sardoche, who gave us perhaps the most epic and wild ending you could ask for in an overtime tiebreaker, a surprise checkmate. But before we get into that, good news for you both. Community Rally got us over $50,000, so matched with $100,000 by Chess.com, we have $150,000 going to charity, and a lot of it was driven on this last day. So amazing, amazing stuff. Thank you guys. And I don't even know where to begin with this. Sardoche, let's dive into the chess here because, as you said off the camera before we were joined, you didn't even know that knight d2 was mate until you had played it, right?
I knew I would get a mate in 3 or 4 moves, bringing my rook and getting the queen. If you will take my queen, I will get a lead, of course.
Right.
When he moves the king on the right, I knew it was basically over. But when I saw the mate, I felt like, what? Did he just surrender?
Right.
And it was checkmate. But I don't think it's luck because my whole point was to pin that knight to actually get behind.
Sure.
And that was my decent start. And that back post knight was supposed to do something at some point, and he delivers the checkmate. So I don't know, man. This is crazy.
It's amazing. Congratulations. Rainn, we know that you said the Sicilian was tough, but you had actually you had fought all the way back from a tough position. We know you were getting down on the clock, but the moment knight takes d5 happened, and then Czech Hikaru were like, oh my God, if Rainn plays king h1, he might go on to win this game because the queen's under attack, the knight's under attack, and the bishop, and it all happened so fast here. So take us through your final moments there. Obviously, it was a shocking end here with king f1.
Yeah, and that's what time pressure will do to you. I had 1 minute. He had 3. I didn't think he had mate in 2 or 3 moves. I thought that I didn't really mind his bishop being down there, and I think I had enough firepower to kind of clog up the middle, and I had some threats on him. But so I just didn't take that beat to kind of go, where should I move my king? But he, before we get into that, just hats off, chapeaus off to Sardoche, and just great play all around. And the better player won today, and he just played great. And yeah, I get in trouble against the Sicilian, and that's just something I'm going to have to study.
Maybe get a better chess coach for it.
I need a better chess coach. Hikaru, are you available?
Yeah, I was going to say one of the things that was very difficult with sort of your setup you played with this bishop to b2 is that a lot of the positional play revolves around pushing this pawn to d4 later on and then opening up the diagonal for your bishop from b2 to h8 if your opponent knows how to respond in the opening. So it just seemed like a very tricky kind of opening setup to play if you're not familiar with all the advanced opening ideas.
If I will play my initial setup, I will lose to this Fianchetto. But right before the game starts, we analyzed only one response to the Sicilian, and that was this opening, because the French staff is just too good at spying you. So they found the exact opening I needed to play to actually be comfortable. And once again, shoot out to Kevin Bordy, just an insane stuff, an insane job. That was a team win, actually. I'm so proud.
Well, guys, obviously we could talk about the chess for a long time, but the truth is you both just played an incredible event, and it came down to literally overtime chess to decide a winner. Last question for you both. I'll start with you, Rainn. Just give us your 20 seconds. We know you played in the event, and a big part of it was the opportunity for charity, which was awesome, where the community got us today. But tell us more just about how much you enjoyed playing the event, your how much you love chess, and how was this experience playing in Pogchamps?
This event sucked. Chess sucks. France sucks. No, man. This was a lot of fun, man. It was. Listen, I'm an old dude, and I was for a little while on the high school chess team. I wasn't very good, but to get to dive in and re-examine the game in a fresh way was a lot of fun, and Really excited for the money that we made for our nonprofit. Sardoche, if you want to donate any of your winnings over to our charity, you're welcome, my friend. And played some great players along the way, had a great experience, and thrilled to be a part of it. And just big congratulations to Sardoche on his victory.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Sardoche, same question to you. Just tell us your final thoughts on playing in Pog Champs and where you're going from here with your chess career.
First of all, out of all my esport career, I played some great League of Legends tournaments. I played some great Twitch rivals and many games, but out of everything, that was the win I was the most happy with. Like, I will actually fade out when I won this game. It was too much to handle. I never felt something like this. It has been like 2 months. I'm literally discovering the game and getting obsessed with it, and I play like maybe 12 hours a day for like 2 months. So I'm doing 4 hours of puzzle. Hikaru may like it. I went to 2100 and like I play 6 hours of the game every day. Just sometimes never get out of my bed and play on my phone. That was something I really was focused on. So I'm so proud I won it, and I know I will chill a bit. I will focus on other things, maybe play a bit of Rocket League and stuff like this. But I will never forget chess and play it until I get at least 2000 elo sometimes. I mean, who can say I hit 2000 elo someday in my life? I think that will be a really good life goal, and I will definitely aim for it at some point. Yeah. And play on the board, by the way, would be awesome. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done anything for 12 hours a day, so that's pretty incredible, and you earned it, man. Hikaru, any final thoughts for our guys here?
I mean, I just think it was a great match. You both played well, and for Sardoche, I mean, to see the hours you put in to see it all pay off at the end, it's phenomenal. I'm really happy for you. I think out of all the Pogchamps winners, you were the one who showed the most emotion. You definitely felt the most pressure when you were losing games. We saw how much it affected you, how much it hurt, and then to come back and win at the end. So just to see the emotion, the passion you had for chess, it was incredible, and so very well deserved victory.
Well, thank you guys both so much. And again, thank you to the community who came through in the clutch and got us over that $150,000 raised marker, and the 2 largest percentages going to Rain and Sardoche's charities respectively. But remember, all of the participants get a percentage to the charities that they chose, which is incredible. So guys, what a wild ride. Thank you so much for doing this. Congratulations to you both. Congrats, Sardoche, and maybe a future Pog Champs, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
All right, man. Well, that was wild. And what a Pog Champs way to end it with a 92 surprise checkmate on the board, Hikaru.
Yeah, it was a great finish. It's sort of that game swung back and forth. The whole match swung back and forth. I think, when I look at all the Pogchamps, this one had the most twists and turns, had the most competitive games, and just all around, it was a great event. And really, as I said before, to see Sardoche, to see the emotion, to see how much time he put in, and just to see the way that he took it so seriously, and then to come through, win that second game, and then win the tiebreaker, was just really special.
Yeah, he came through. Remember, if anyone just tuned in, I doubt they did, but I bet you've been here the whole time. But remember, Sardoche did that in comeback fashion. He had to win game 2 to send it to overtime and then come through in those super critical moments of that final blitz game. So Sardoche, the hard work paid off, and an incredible and deserving Pog Champs champion there. Hikaru, speaking of incredible and deserving, you're getting a deserved raid. You worked hard today. You're about to go stream on your channel, so go to twitch.tv/GMHikaru. Man.
Yeah, I'll definitely be talking about the event as well, but I just think in general, the whole thing was amazing, and it was really fun to watch. I think one of the things is you don't want to feel like there's a runaway winner. It's guaranteed someone's going to win, and it felt like anybody could have won. Felt like Benji, he could have won in the championship bracket. Came a little bit short against Rain, but I felt like Rain also could have probably won this.
And let's not forget Ludwig, who lost in overtime to Sardoche. He almost went all the way.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Right. So yeah, it was a great event, and I think all the players they deserve a lot of credit. I feel like they put in a lot of work, and it was a fun event. Really good. Probably out of all 3, it was definitely my favorite.
Yeah. No, and it certainly reached the records in terms of viewership and engagement that say that it was a lot of other people's favorite too. And so a huge thank you to the community and everyone who tuned in, not just obviously for the charity, but just seeing where chess is going. And huge thank to all of our sponsors again, Gaiaki, Cyberpower PC, GRIP6, who made the belt. Apparently, we don't ship to France at Chess.com, so I'm just going to keep it. That's cool.
Yeah, good one, Danny. I'm pretty sure on the next flight out of Paris, there are going to be a lot of people who will be coming for you.
Well, the French faithful came through in the main chat as well, and we know that Sardoche had a massive audience behind him. So, all right. Well, sometimes we don't want these things to end, but we got to close. So again, huge thank you to the team, all of our moderators who work super hard, keeping everyone just having a good time, and all the communities feeling loved and positive. To the staff, our producers, our team working hard behind all the scenes that you don't even know exist. And all the hard work that goes into making sure that things don't go wrong, and the amazing thing that was presented here. The commentators, Pogchamps, we got to thank the coaches, Hikaru. All the coaches that work super hard. There's a lot of time that goes in with the streamers to help them get here. And Kevin Bordy, who already sent a message to me on Slack. I'm not going to read it till I'm off air. I don't know what he said. But congrats, Kevin, of course, with the guy that you worked super hard with winning the whole event. And Hikaru and everyone who helps make Pogchamps possible, thank you. Let's sign off, and until Pogchamps 4, I'll see you then, man.
Absolutely, it was great. It's a pleasure, Danny. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
See you guys.